What's this thing going to what, Mikey? Huh? Can you hear me? Can you hear me, beautiful people out there in YouTube land? Can y'all see me? Am I clear? I try to get the lighting right, but whoever these motherfuckers were that made this monopod, they forgot one important element. Put a counterweight so this motherfucker sit properly. You know what I mean? As a result, I gotta sit down, and I really don't want to sit down. Let me see if I can stand up right here. Maybe if I stand up right here. Yeah, y'all can see me like that, right? That's better. I'll make sure to talk loud so y'all can hear me. I ain't feel like sitting down right now. It's not a thing I'm feeling right now, and as you can see, I'm a tall man, so sitting in that position was real fucking comfortable. This is orange juice and milk. By the way, in case anybody wants to ask, I drink shit like this every day. Pomegranate, all that shit. Even before you guys met me here on YouTube. So, oh yeah, the coconut palm sugar. Shit from the islands. Hey. So anyway, listen, right? In my most humblest English king's tone of voice, how I be that declare. We gonna motherfucking talk about Tasha K tonight. And the reason we're gonna talk about Tasha K, because Tasha K came against one of my beloved. One of my beloved, I mean, would be Choke No Joke. Salute Choke No Joke. And I'll tell you what, I gotta make sure y'all can hear me on this one. Choke No Joke was instrumental in many factors for Rockefeller Records. Not only that with Choke No Joke, let me clear. The guy's an honest guy. Not only is he an honest guy, he's philanthropic. Which, in my opinion, if you're not philanthropic in the culture, you are a waste. Most parts. You cannot help with you can only help with your own solitude. This is where you get the notions about Puff and Jay-Z and many others that are multimillionaires and multi-billionaires now. Even down to the common man in some sense. Sometimes. There's a hierarchy. I know that hierarchy for working in the same offices. I've been around the same people as Chuck No Joke for 17 years. These people that are talking about us, they've never been in our area. You understand what I'm saying? They haven't had none of the experiences we've had. They damn sure haven't been around the people we have. And they don't have anybody talking about them in the music industry, at least not out loud via media, to a degree where someone would pay recognition and commend the very same act. Chuck No Joke has superheaded that. You know what I'm saying? He's beyond that now. You know what I'm saying? And don't make that mistake with that term I just said with Karen or whatever name is. That's what I mean. That's not what I mean. He superseded that. His reputation for me in New York City is authentic. Now, I don't care what happened with him. Take this off. I'm feeling real tight right now. I don't care what happened with him. Ooh, that's better. I don't really care what happened with him and the situation with I don't care what happened with him in the situation with Jay. It's none of my business. Nor would I get into that because, well, that's personal. When Choke got involved with my shit, I invitedly loved the fact that he did because it said to me this was a stand-up man. Chuck No Joke donated to me. Wrote me a note. Said, yo, man, you know what I mean? Chuck No Joke for 2 hours talked about me and my situation at the time and compared it with Puff and the game. You know what I'm saying? And not Puff directly, but constituents, nevertheless. 4 gentlemen subsequently made a video about me, and I guess, for a better lack of words, tried to assassinate my character. And mind you, for years, I hung at these gentlemen, stayed in hotel rooms when we went on trips. You know what I'm saying? Everybody didn't get their own hotel room, even staff. You know what I mean? So, you know what I'm saying? You was bunk bed. What's the shit? Roommating with somebody. I said bunk bed, but you know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? It's a fact. Those are trips that are memorable, and I know those are the same memories that Chuck No Joke has, if not more, of the industry in all these years. So for me, unbeknownst to me, there was an exchange, between Chuck No Joke and Tasha K. Now let me tell you something, right? Let me give y'all a real story about that little girl. And I ain't gonna say her name, because I don't want to pay no attention to her that's not needed for this type of situation. But if you are familiar with the story, shit. Sorry guys. If y'all are familiar with the story, I got long legs. I'm 6'3", G. So it's like, you know what I mean? Shit happens. My leg hit that, my fault. Stop the production and shit. This little girl don't come from Tasha K, nor do she come from Chuck No Joke either. As far as finding her, who she is, etc., etc. No, there's another man that actually take claim for that. And I know that man. And the reason I know who this man is because when the man broke the story, I was in attendance. Now I'm talking about the day it broke. I was in attendance. I had to take that tank top off, y'all. Y'all know, like, these tank tops, sometimes after a minute they shrink. You know what I'm saying? It's unedible, you know? Unedible. What the fuck? You know what I mean? Inedible. Yeah. I know the word I'm just tongue-tied for. Tomato, whatever the fuck. I want to pick up where I was at. With this little young girl. The man that broke this story for many of us, and I think many agree, if you're really in the loop of things, if you're really in the, you know what I mean, you'll really know who I'm talking about. And that's the Star Report. They were the first ones. Troy Terrain, salute. We talked on the phone before, etc., etc. You know what I mean? You still owe me a steak dinner too, nigga. That bullshit. But let me tell you. Star was the one that brought this story to attention. And not only did he bring this to attention, just like I said, Hassan Campbell was also one that Star, so aforementioned, didn't get the justified credit I think he should have for his involvement in the African Bambaataa story, you see. Star broke that story. So the Star also was on the cutting edge of breaking another story about some goings on in the X Clan back in the days, particularly with 3 of the female members, one of them being Isis, now known as some other name. What's going on, y'all? On the check-in, what up? I see y'all coming in. Let me tell you something. It was the Star Report that broke this story about Lennon and that little girl. I said little girl because that's what she was. She was 16. Motherfucker, that's a little girl. I don't give a fuck how you look at it. You know what I mean? Now, if she's 16 and look 25, and you unknowingly happened to you, and she lied to you or something like that, you can get a pass. But if you went full in and you knew that little girl was 16 years old, bruh, you knew you could at least waited 17 in a month. You know what I mean? You was gonna do it that way. $17 a month before the birthday. They would have gave you a pass for that. But this girl was drugged intentionally. And that's the type of shit I got a problem with. And I think that's a problem what the streets got a problem with. And had we not lived in this sensitive society, if the elevation of what will be considered now my period will still exist, or better yet, some of these motherfuckers, see, these motherfuckers in their prime wouldn't have babies by, and the majority of them, side bitches. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna put it plain to you. I'm gonna take some time with this. We're gonna be live for a minute. You know what I mean? So if you are impatient, Cash App is $STRINGERBELL80, because this is all about me and some more shit tonight. Let me make sure, y'all give me 2 seconds. I'm gonna share this. So everybody know I'm live too. This little girl, in my opinion, the attention for me was first, and I heard a little rumbling about it before. The motherfuckers gossip in the industry just like they gossip in the street. So, you know. I heard this before. Mumblings, like, yo, he done fucked with a little girl before, something like that. You know what I mean? I ain't gonna say who came through. But it came through a couple people, y'all know what I'm talking about. I ain't bullshitting. I ain't even gonna hold you. So, I'm sitting there, in my opinion, I put something in my pocket. Give me 2 seconds, y'all. All right. I'm sitting there looking, and I'm listening to Star. And when we listen to Star, you don't see her face, but you hear her voice and the timidness. She still sounds like a little girl to me, you know. This little girl told her story on Star's podcast. And when I listened to it, I said, she telling the truth. I said it automatically because I could tell by the authenticness in her voice, authentic tone in her voice. But her friend, you could see, was definitely for the salacious shit. Anything for the interview, anything I could get a dollar amount attached to, that's what she was about. And unfortunately, the combination of them was needed for it to progress any further. One was salacious material and salacious means monetarily to be suffice for her in the condition that she tell her story. Because of the fear that if she goes, it's been so long, if she goes against any monetary damages, it may not be none but little. You know what I'm saying? And I can't blame her for that. I'm not here to bash her, the other victim. And I'm not necessarily here to bash Leonard either. Charlemagne the God. I'm here only to hold counsel. I'm not here to hold court. I'm merely on for counsel to the delegates the sea serves for. Some would call me an owl. Star and the Star Report broke this story. So when I heard Tasha K saying her little video And I don't agree how Choke No Joke responded to it. That shit was fucking funny as hell. Because the whole, okay, first of all, you should have put up that, you should have really thought when you put up that clip. All right, let me tell you that now. Yeah, excuse me, I got a piece of candy in my mouth. You should have thought before you threw up that interview. Because not only did you contradict yourself, sweetheart, you made yourself look like a motherfucking fool. Everything, almost everything you meant. I'm not attacking Tasha K. I'm merely offering this counsel. A lot of people get me confused and think I'm some kind of bully. I'm no bully. I'm only merely a man with observation. And my consistency with my observation, as you can see, has probably like a 97% accuracy rating. I did this shit for 17 years. I was talking about stocks and shit. Everybody talking about stocks now. I was talking about day trading faction shares back in 2004. And nobody was paying attention. I'm on record in a radio clip telling people how, on the radio, telling people how, with OG Mac Drama out in Arizona, telling people how, in a literal interview, how streaming and streaming technology was going to take over the music business, and how it was going to deduce from the profits that were made in the music industry. And at the time, it's still available on Blog Talk Radio. Just put in OG Mac Drama and Davin Lewis. I was co-hosting with him because of that comment, because he knew, believe me. He was the only one out of 6 of them, but believe me, I interviewed everybody. I interviewed Tabitha Duncan, which I'm going to have on here. That's my homegirl. You know what I'm saying? From Cut Close, Grammy Award-winning group. They were put out by Keith Sweat. Tabitha's had an amazing journey. You know what I mean? You don't see a lot of these artists and you think that they're done. But literally, a lot of these artists have dedicated fan bases, you see. And these dedicated fan bases, year after year, they'll travel to come see them sometimes. They're in a neighboring city. I live in Charlotte. Well, I drove all the way up here from Winston-Salem, you know. They will travel for these artists, trust me. And because of the nostalgia factor and the notoriety factor in these artists, one thing that happens is these artists, a lot of times, or not most of the time, they're not contractually highly as obligated to deals anymore as, per se, other artists. So now in their latter years, they're living out their seniority. So I'll give you a perfect example. In 2000, I think it was 19 was the last year we counted ticket sales. In 2019, Madonna, the Rolling Stones, Elton John, who was the other one? Kanye West, Jay-Z, and there was one other artist. No, Jay-Z wasn't on that year because he didn't tour. This are all artists that toured. That's on Forbes, Fortune. I forgot what the fucking other artists were. But those artists were amongst the highest to make the most profits on tours. You can look that up right now if you want to, or come up and Google it. I guarantee you. So the demographics are there, analytics are there. They're all, you know, basically with a set of crutches hold my court of theory to motherfucking reality. And not persuade, but yet disenlighten and hold counsel. Humbly. Now, Tasha K, and your little diatribe, like I said, not attacking you, sweetheart. Don't get fucking sensitive, all right? If I wanted you, I could have had you a long time ago, all right? And I'm not talking about a fucking date. You know what the fuck I mean. Tasha K, I like you. I really do. For what you are. Which is honest. Sometimes. And then sometimes you'll tell a bold out lie. Now, like I said, There's a whole bunch of things we stay around this dinner table tonight. Whole bunch of lies. Whole bunch of lies spoken at this dinner table tonight. Whole bunch of lies. Sweetheart, Chuck No Joke and Star were just on not even a week ago talking about this young girl, the situation with the documentary, and everything else. Live on the Star Report. I was there. I shared the link. As I do on, if you go on the community section of my page, you will see nothing but the Star Report as you scroll. Okay? Make no mistake fucking about it. That's my guy. I go all the way back to Shot 90-7. And even before then, I go back to public access, remembering the guy. This before I even had any contact and known him. First time I had ever spoken to him real and deep on a phone call was not too long ago. It's an honor. Like I said, fucker, you still owe me a fucking steak dinner, huh? Don't you know? Let me tell you. The Star Report broke this story. And for Tasha K to circumnavigate her way into this shit like the weasel, it didn't make mention in the diatribe that she put out. Your documentary didn't even get that many likes. And you flagged somebody that got 400,000, 500 to 400,000 views by re-uploading your video. And you said, well, they don't fuck with him. Yes, they do. They ain't have no problem with that grainy footage. 400,000 of them. You left that out. You left out 400,000 people and had that re-upload and choke. This is where you made your mistake. Had that re-upload not been flagged, if story is true as you say, and choke, I apologize if it's not. But as she says, it was flagged by you. It could have well and potentially been at 1.2, 1.3 million, maybe not even more. Now that right there would have been a springboard for Choke to do his next project. So what y'all motherfuckers don't understand is, in that same community section, on my page, Dame Dash Studios is day by day. Choke know my ex-boss. Everybody know my ex-boss. Go ask Choke No Joke who Sean Prez is, who just called me his baby brother on his shit the other day. I love that man. No homo. 17 years. That man put me in a position where I went all the way across the country. He'd be like, yo, send professional, send professional. Going to Miami, open it, send professional. Year after year. Going here, send professional. I earned that nickname. Not from the music business. Don't you know? That's the truth. Nothing to brag about. That's the truth. I don't come from that. Choke No Joke has been around Dame Dash. Dame Dash early on was talking about filming. He's told y'all this in interviews of his. Told you himself. We saw Paid in Full. That movie's almost 20 years old now. Choke No Joke was still around. And he was around Dame and saw what film work was. And this is not Choke's first project. See, y'all motherfuckers like aesthetics. Like everything pretty. You see how grainy and natural everything is with me right now? The world is my stage. Y'all don't understand that. That's one thing I got over you that I understand, the white people understand, but you don't understand. And to be quite honest with you, the people that respond to the glitz and glamour, those are easy motherfuckers to sell anything to, including their soul. And they'll be the first motherfuckers telling you about somebody else selling their soul. Why? Because they're prepared to sell theirs. And they want to see what the setback gonna be. They almost doing a science experiment on you. So don't think that they genuine with that shit when they say that shit like that. orange juice and milk, and palm coconut sugar, which was on sale for $1.99 at Trader Joe's. So go there, motherfucker. Tasha K, you made fun of this man's video work, but he's been around the best. You hired a production crew, and they film it for you. This is not your work. That was Choke's work. Whether he did it, however he did it, there's a cinematography, because I went to school for digital media. There's a cinematography explosion that's been going on for probably the past, I'm gonna say 10 years, with exhibitions, everything, even award shows for it, which is called cell phone cinematography. And they showed an example of this when the iPhone 12 and 11 came out, and they were showing how it has movie production qualities now. And quite honestly, the frame rates, everything, like I have 4K on my phone. My front-facing camera doesn't have 4K, but my back-facing camera does. And if I set this up right, I could turn the camera around, and I could use the front-facing camera, but I wouldn't be able to see our chats and shit, you know what I'm saying? So that's why I keep it like this. But I have 4K in camera rate and everything. And most DSLRs, I used to have a huge DSLR Canon. It's heavy as fuck. It's really unneeded. And there's so many aperture things and everything like that. The only thing you would need a film man for nowadays is the angles and the edit. Hi, Davin, it's been a while. Let me see here. Hey, how you doing? Coming through to support your channel when I'm financially blessed. You're the first one on my list. I hear you, thank you. Davin, auto spell sucks. Hey, Dav. Hey, Cocoa Brother Brown. Hey, Bullet Scotty, what's going on? Salute, brother. Star Pepper, what's on the check-in? 305, what's going on? Everything. Now, this spin is real, whatever, and the Cash App is $STRINGERBELL80. I'll get to me later. I'm gonna leave me for last. See how many people really real with me. This is honest as it's gonna get. Because I don't know Choke No Joke in person, but I do know the circle of us. And my ex-boss know him very well. And I think Prez would be mad at me if I didn't say something like this, because Prez know how I am. You know what I mean? It's a big bro talking right now, you know? And I gotta be honest with you. Tasha K, you said a lot of hypocritical shit. But you talked about this man's shit and you said it was unsuccessful. Well, Savannah Jaguar Wright, by all states and purposes, was unsuccessful to the motherfucker. You know what I mean? Like, if we're talking projectionally, you know what I'm saying? Like, it wasn't a success. Not how you intended. And in fact, I believe you made a video and then you took it down talking about it. Because I know other people were talking about it. I think some of the pages are still up now. Enter Tasha K, Jaguar Wright, disappointment. Enter Tasha K, Jaguar, Survivor Jaguar Wright, what the fuck happened? Know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? You talk about New Yorkers, man. We live in the Northeast. The fuck shit is on her mind. His shit was your shit was unsuccessful. Your shit was unsuccessful. We don't talk. You ain't talk about that though, right? You said that this man chased down this girl, when in fact him and Star have been working on this way before that. Before you even entered the picture and said anything, Star and then later Choke were on this. Star from the Star Report broke the story. I was there. I was listening to that broadcast live when it happened. I wrote in the chat room. If you go back and listen to the shit, you will see me typing. I was in for the whole show. You understand? The whole show. You will see me typing in there. My name is there. So all you gotta do is hit that thing that's what's the name? It looks like a notepad. Hit that shit when you replay the video. And all the chats that were said during the motherfucking live broadcast are right there. You're going to see me right there and many others. Can I be honest? I'm old school. And when men have issues with women should stay quiet. A woman should stay quiet. If two men go in the boxing ring, I'm not about to get, and that's what I'm about to get to right now. Tasha K, you putting yourself in a situation. Tasha, let me tell you something. I don't care how tough you are. I know some chicks in BK and Queens right now that I know for years, Harlem, that I know for years, they'll get you the fuck up out of here. First of all, you got a fupa purse, all right? You got a pussy. I don't know what the fuck you want to call that. That's a belly and a vajay together, a pussy. Know what I'm saying? Y'all know what I'm talking about, a fupa? She got a fupa when she sit down, like the stomach connect with the vajay. Like it's some weird looking shit and it poke out the front of the jeans. Look like she had some mom jeans on when she was interviewing with Kevin Samuels. I'm talking about him too. Fuck you take your ass up there for? Hey, I'm from Oklahoma. The fuck you telling her for, you dumbass? That's what she got you there. That's why she got you there. Your country ass. You'll never take a drink from a motherfucker when they bring you into an interview, nigga. Ever. Ever, ever, ever. Not even as complimentary. And you should know from the get-go, Kevin Samuels, that she is malicious. Didn't you watch her channel? Did anybody on your channel tell you not to go on there? She gonna come at you. She gonna wait. She gonna come at you. If she had come at you already, I ain't checked that part. But I'm guaranteeing she will. She's vicious. She thinks this generation is, excuse me guys, she thinks this generation is basically bent from trying to do what Oprah did. See, Oprah was different. Oprah had the networks protecting her even at an early time. She went to a news agency, which is usually a conglomerate or extension of a larger entity. NBC or CBS, Houston or ABC, you know, wherever. Y'all give me 2 seconds. Ambulance. You know, that's how news networks work. Oprah had that protecting her. And we're going to talk about it like that. Who do you have protecting you? Like, who's paying you? Because Choke No Joke brought up something that stuck out to me, and I had said before, too, when I had my words about it. And I said, and this was before a Choke situation, I said, yo, who paying you? And then I started putting shit together. I said, oh, I got it. You know what I mean? Because my man, let me get my mans on here. We're going to talk about it. My man, shout out to Biggs. My man, me and him had this conversation before, and we were talking about how niggas got so hit in the music industry or vloggers. And an example of that was when Cardi B actually sued Tasha K. That now niggas is like, yo, I need you to watch this blogger, that blogger. They plopping over there with these men. I need to know what they saying, whatever. We got to slide them, you know what I'm saying, couple dollars, whatever, give them the fuck about it, whatever we got to do. Trump, I don't know. You know. And motherfuckers think this a couple of dollars is as far as it'll go. Well, I got a motherfucking surprise for you. If a man has $1 million at his disposal, and at the most you might have 100,000, who do you think may more readily win, even if they just put up $1 million of the multi-millions they own? What do they think? What do you think they could get for their 1 million, and that's not their last? But that 100,000 is your last. From donations and all that shit. Speaking of donations, $ STRINGERBELL 80, Stringer Bell 80. Hit that up right now, please. Thank you guys. Because that's just definitely what this is about. Fuck that. Took your ass over there fucking with that broad, nigga. I was ashamed of that. I said, that's 2 on you now, man. You still ain't explain who that fella was in the bed with you. Well, not with you, but the fella that was laying in the bed. And you fresh dressed, sitting in I hope that was where your kinfolk, your man came over. He was helping you fix some shit, the boiler or something like that. He's like, yo, my nigga, I can't make it. You know what I mean? I had too many beers, something. You know what I mean? I don't know. That's how we are, downgrading dehumanizing our black men. Many of us disagree, but it's the truth. If a man get a woman can't fight, they're considered messy and feminine. No, I mean, in any other society, men are supposed to actually eradicate any type of confusion amongst the women quickly. Quickly, assertively, and to the betterment of the culture itself, because the women are rearing the kids. So when you have that type of macho and bravado that's usually accustomed and coordinated with men historically, and this is not the first time this has happened, okay? This happened in many different periods in history to different cultures where the women became almost masculine. That's why you have stories of the Amazons and them not having any men living on mascara and you know what I mean? Shit like that. These stories are all birth and root from different periods of time. There's a term, and I have to find it, that's used to describe the worship of women. I'll get back to Tasha K in a second, but I want to tell y'all this while I'm thinking about it. It's used to describe the worship of women. And I don't know if it was in the Grecian times or Roman times, whatever, but at this particular time and period, whenever it was, you say what you want to, motherfucker. I got 1.4 million views. Hello. Random person walking through. Anyway, whatever this terminology is, it was the worship of women. And a lot of people say Amelia Earhart and all the rest of the feminists, when they first started this movement in the 1800s, late 1800s, they adapted some of this. I don't know if you want to say, do we print it as, see, philosophy would determine it, but I mean, kind of determine it, but really, it would be a religion almost. You know what I mean? So I would point more to religion, because it came from a religion aspect, because philosophy, most of the time, is taken and only supposed to be taken as theory-based, where a religion, in practice, is a belief system that's indoctrinated amongst clergy, etc., and then beknownst to the people, they become believers, etc., right? So this whole masculine thing that we got out of a lot of women, where they're trying to emasculate men in public, and I still haven't put that sister video up, even though I said it. I've edited it, and I've both portions I've edited, and I said, you know what? I don't want to put it up, and this is the problem that y'all don't realize that we have as men. After all that shit, that's how much fucking love we got from y'all. We don't get no motherfucking respect for this shit. As men, we'll still be like, oh, she just a chick, da-da-da. These same chicks will come back and kill you, nigga. These same chicks will set you up and have you hit, you know what I mean? And get you the fuck up out of here. I seen it happen. I've known chicks throughout the years being in and out of the BX and Harlem that would set niggas up, all that shit. Factory. That's why I said, Tasha K, that shit fly down there. You ain't coming to BK by yourself swinging like that, or with a crew. Just like I said, like Bunny Claiborne, I put a carrot on that shit. Bunny Claiborne is one of my characters in my comedy skits, if y'all don't know. I put them up before, but put some more up I've been editing the fuck out of. And have to redo a couple of them because the sound went right. So, but Bunny Claiborne be back. You can bet a carrot on that shit. Tasha, especially right now, you wouldn't come to New York doing that shit. They used to get fucked up in the wild right now. Pushed off platforms, motherfuckers are shooting in Times Square at their own brothers. And I know Atlanta off the hook too, respect to Atlanta. This ain't no Atlanta versus New York shit. This is Tasha K talking shit versus shit. Called choke no joke a snitch. Tell me I talked to son. You talk to him. You ain't talk to Choke. That's some sucker shit. Choke was 13 years old when that shit happened. 13 years old. There's stories that we still have that you can look up on YouTube. Right now, young boys went through the same goddamn thing, including boys that were 12, 13 years old in the 1940s and 50s. What's the boy's name that was killed? Emmett Till. Emmett Till. He was a victim of that. How old was Emmett Till? 13? I didn't put that woman's video up yet. Because I said, you know what? I said, Mom, I'm going to give this bitch one more chance. I'm going to give this bitch one more chance. I mean, I still love you. But you acting real bitch-like right now. You know what I'm saying? Real corny. And it ain't a good look for the culture. So when I describe mascara, the Amazons or whatever, it's to bring you this. If you have a whole bunch of women living in their own doctrine, even outside the normal doctrine of the United States, where some of them are trying to attempt with white men now in high positions, and I'm saying, and black men in high positions. And I'm starting to see that the fight is on, but on a different level. So this expands all parts of society, all realms, all endeavors. This is a big problem. And it's not because women want freedom. No. It's because some women are trying to manipulate the movement of women want freedom and trying to find every monetary way they can fit them and usually some form of the LGBT community within it. As you saw with Ellen. Now they got Ellen the fuck up out of here, but Ellen got 2 more seasons. She just ended her contract. And she will have a pay out and move on to something bigger and better or a different domain. Who do you think don't want to interview Ellen DeGeneres now? Shit, the price went up, bitch. I got fired. You want the exclusive? Why? That should have cost you $250,000 starting out. See what I'm saying? It's money in the controversy. So Ellen will be quite fine. And she'll be able to maintain that lovely home she bought. San Bernardino, I believe it is. She'll be quite fine. I don't speak against women in this tone, but what I mean is, as we've seen this previously in history, and this is, anytime that you want a woman to have full rank over it, it doesn't work that way. Yes, they are powerful. Yes, they are intuitive. Yes, they are smart. Yes, they raised many of us from the suckle to the death in some cases. No, we're not saying that their leadership is not needed. What we're saying is their leadership cannot be in totality because the pure simple fact it is shown historically that it does not work that way. It is unconventional as erasing night from day. It's the unnatural order of things. And sometimes these things, and if you need a depiction of this, I'll give you a very good depiction. Right now, you have a TV show that's getting ready to come on Disney called Loki. Loki, in historical terms, is the goddess of mischief. The god of mischief. And Loki, in this particular program, he takes basically a cube, it's called the Tesseract. And he takes it and he disappears into another realm of time. But when he does this, he doesn't know, and unbeknownst to him, there's many different versions of him that exist in many different planes and many different realms. Which I'll get into that conversation with you guys too, because this the recent mention, and I might get into it here. The recent mention by the U.S. government that UFOs exist. I remember this was predicted by David Icke. If y'all don't know who that is, his name is spelled Davidicke. And he goes back to when, what's that fucker's name? I haven't said his name in so long. Alex Jones. Well, David Icke was better. David Icke was from England. And David Icke was a multi-billionaire, I think now. You know, he was around people like David Branson, Virgin, shit like that. Well, anyway, long story short, David had predicted this, and he said there's going to be a disclaimer, and they're going to talk about how UFOs have always been out there. Now, if you don't believe me, go back and put David Icke, UFOs 2006. Okay, David Icke, UFOs 2006, and listen to what he says there. And bam, here we are, lo and behold, U.S. government, our U.S. government, has admitted that, yeah, UFOs do exist. So, or what they determine is something we can't identify readily. Let's put it that way. Now, if the shit's submerged in water, take off at rapid propulsion rates that the jets can't keep up with, or the radar can't keep up with, or that the pilot's eyesight can't keep up with once they accelerated to a certain point, chances fucking are this ain't something that's man-made here on Earth and it's shining, okay? You know what I mean? It's literally rotating and shining. All right, now we saw the Germans during World War II. They had this research that they wanted to do. They found them. They found documents with schematics that the World War II Germans had, and we know that they exist. These disc-shaped objects that they wanted to somehow or another, you know what I mean, implement into war strategies or whatever. Some of them quite effectively, and one of them they actually had video of, which is a video short on YouTube that you guys can look up. These are in the traditional world, these things mentioned are unconditional to their belief systems. You know, some people will start a philosophy sooner or later that these are people that may be aliens or fallen angels or interdimensional beings. We don't know what the hell they are, you know, within these crafts, or the crafts themselves operating solely by themselves, or they some type of drone perhaps or something. You know what I mean? We don't know. That discussion has not, you know, been had yet. Nor do I think it will be for the next 10, 15 years. They will keep you at bay being like, look, we know these motherfuckers is here. We didn't know they was here for 70 years. Yes, Roswell is true. They tell you, when they said, yo, we know they're here for 70 years, the only thing you had to do was the fucking math. Roswell, New Mexico. You know what I'm saying? We know they've been here for 70 fucking years. We just ain't told y'all. Now, calm the fuck down. We're going to get everything together. All these new conventional thoughts and realizations that are going on add to a mindset. You understand what I'm saying? If you don't get me, listen to me. They add to a mindset of narcissism. Because now, everyone in society thinks they fucking special. And the truth is, whether you Tasha K, myself, Choke No Joke, or whoever, all three of us can tell you something. Everybody ain't fucking special, okay? Even the motherfuckers are special, they ain't special. All right? They ain't special like that. I've been around everybody. Always act myself. That's what they love about me. I was around Pharrell. Pharrell remembered me. I was at the, what the fuck was I from? The Clevelander on Ocean Drive in Miami. They got 3 fucking pools there, beautiful place. You ain't never stayed there, I recommend you go there one day. Okay, so we stayed at the Clevelander. I ain't paid for it, they did. As always, looking for my cigarettes. But the company paid for it, as should be, as it should. And we had a great fucking time. I'll throw up a picture with us and DJ Envy. DJ Envy was DJing or whatever. We still remember that, you know, like, he's known us since we were young. We know him since he was younger. Crazy. Always been authentic in my personality. And I don't know if Pharrell remember that shit or not, but I remember the next year he saw me, and I was in front of the Clevelander, and we spoke, and we talked for a few seconds. And we had something in common, which I'm not gonna tell y'all, but it wasn't no fruit booty shit and nothing like that. We had something in common with where we were born and what we had been around. You know what I'm saying? And so it was some interesting shit. But more importantly, him, I remember Missy Elliott told me, she wrote me a note even, and said, keep rapping, you're going to be rich. That's what she wrote on the note. I don't have that shit no more. I wish I did. Missy Elliott told me that riding out in her limo in front of TRL at the time. I was with Carson Daly. This motherfucker's now conservative fucking news now. Oh, I'm Carson Daly. I'm glad they gave him a new show, though. He's got a new show where he's rocking out again. I'm like, he's not a stiff like that. Y'all got him look like a fucking dad. Throw him in some fucking dad jeans is over, you know? Too many of y'all, Carson Daly ain't shit. Carson Daly was the shit. I was around Carson Daly. I told you I used to dance with Direct Effects. And sometimes after that, we go over to TRL. Be on that stage. I'll be there extra 2 hours. Shit was crazy. Tasha K, baby girl, it's an intervention. You gotta stop running your fucking mouth, man. Run your mouth too much. Your boy Sweets Monroe, he run his mouth too much. Talking about shit he don't know what he's talking about. You know what I mean? You said something about smoke, choke, no joke that I didn't like. I almost wanted to say smoke, no joke. That's what you start calling yourself, nigga. Smoke, no joke. That's the illest shit ever. Smoke, no joke. Just recreate the whole shit. You know what I'm saying? For real. Rebrand it. You know? Diddy, Brother Love. You know what I'm talking about. Right? Jigga, Jay-Z. You know what I mean? Jehovah. Get that? Smoke, no joke. You understand what I'm saying? Fuck, that's what I'm calling it from now. Smoke, no joke. You know what I mean? Factory. So, baby girl, you creating a lot of enemies. A lot of enemies that got more money than you. And Sweet Monroe. You talking about y'all just doing donations. Nigga, you talking about niggas that got old money. 20-year-old money now. You know what I'm saying? In some cases, 25, 30-year-old money. You talking, well, I'm trying to get my feet wet. Well, you trying, ain't you? You trying, but don't no fucking body know you. And niggas do know you. They ain't gonna admit they know you, and they gonna rock with you around niggas like us. That's the point you not getting. I wish a nigga would be in motherfucking Interscope Records or a Bad Boy, and we just now getting things together right now. I'm talking about right now, 2021. You know what I'm saying? I'm up around niggas, and niggas bring up some fucking Tasha K. Niggas would be like, the fuck who? And I know right now in your mind, you like, oh my God, well, I'm gonna make them know. No, you ain't. Nobody give a fuck. Nobody want that shit around us. Bitch, if you snitch on them niggas, just snitch on us a few minutes. You probably here just so you can snitch on us. And what I mean by snitch on us, we'll say 75% of the time, that involves making up a story and pushing it out. What you accuse Choke No Joke of, and you do. Come on, man. You done capped out niggas you interview, making them think you friendly. You always got the same approach, think you friendly. Let me tell you something. I had a chick, used to be around me. She did that one night, and I swear to God, I pulled out on her. I said, yo, what the fuck you up to? At the time, yes, I did. I pulled out on her. I don't give a fuck what nobody think. You know what I'm saying? Me and you know what I mean? So this bitch at the time, yes, I said bitch, I think had every intention of sticking me up. And I don't mean her. I mean her and her mans. You know what I'm saying? But she was hanging around niggas like she ain't have no mans. You know what I'm saying? So we treated her like, yo, it's whatever. But when a broad come back, she could tell any type of story. Y'all them niggas try to y'all let me on the low. Y'all them niggas, you know what I mean? Pump the nigga up. They, you know, goofy niggas, they're gonna be like, oh, that's my baby. That's nigga, that she belonged to the streets. But anyway, nigga turn around, say anything. You know what I'm saying? So motherfuckers can twist stories, make up stories and shit like that. Tasha K, you ain't had nothing to do with the story. And I don't know why you riding Charlamagne's dick for. You know what I'm saying? Because it sounded like you was trying to stay in the area of neutrality. This man, Charlamagne. You want this man, Charlamagne. And then you went to the old tribe. This nigga gay. He gay. Chuck No Joke ain't gay, son. Chuck No Joke was known for fucking bitches all the time. He ain't gay back then. He ain't gay now. You know what I'm saying? That was one of the niggas' heaviest Romans, amongst other shit that he did. You know what I'm saying? It was always fucking broad. So, like, you know what I mean? It stands to mention that people like Tasha K, people like Sweets Monroe. Hey, Sweets. Hey, girl. You fucking fruit. Sweets Monroe or Storm Monroe, as y'all know him as. I really don't have a problem with him, except for the time that he offered me an interview and lied about how much money he, or he didn't send no money. That's what he said, right? He ain't send no money. Is that so? Well, here's a fucking Mobazine, bitch. You sent something. And here's me denying the money. You dig? Hold on 1 second, y'all. I just want to make sure my battery right so I can rock on. I'm going for a minute, y'all. You know what I'm saying? And it's Cash App, $STRINGERBELL80. And if y'all ain't here, please hit them like buttons. It helps with my retention on the algorithm and all that good shit. This nigga Storm Monroe and Tasha K stay in the middle of some shit. You made mention in your interview and you said some shit talking about you just rolled out the story because you saw it was popular. But Tasha, that's what you do. You didn't want to ever talk to Jaguar Wright initially. You saw that she was popping. Same thing happened with me and her. I ended up in a loop. If many of y'all don't know how I got popular on social media here on YouTube, was because of Jaguar Wright. It literally was. I put up something for Jaguar Wright, and then later after that, I put up my own story about what was going on with me in New York at the time with the company I used to work for, and how I guess you want to say ex-employees, you know what I mean, my situation with them. So that literally my story was unilateral at the time, and because that video came right behind me doing that one, that video got actually more views than it did on her channel. You understand what I'm saying? That's the crazy thing about it. From where she uploaded that video, my shit got more views at the time. So, shout out to Jaguar Wright. But I saw that whole shit unfold. In fact, I said on a post at that time, I said, yo, I hope Jaguar don't go on Tasha K's joint. What happened? She went on it. I say probably maybe a week and a half later, if not that long after that, that's when the attack came. And the discrediting Jaguar Wright, making the whole surviving Jaguar Wright video and, you know, all that crazy shit that went on with them. Unfortunately, one of the biggest things that I think would have came to fruition had there been more, how can I say it? Had it been more camaraderie out of Tasha K versus her trying to damage and destroy Jaguar Wright, what should have happened was, you would think that Tasha K, not only being a woman, but how they present this whole argument of women and womanhood and all that shit, you would think at that time that somehow or another, Tasha K would have been like, yo, you know what, sis? I just ain't gonna fuck with you, even if I think however I think. No, instead, you choose to go with what everybody else is going with and destroy her or attempt to destroy her credibility. A credibility that which is not easily destroyed because of her link in the music business. If anything that we have on our end and on our back is the length and longevity that we've been in the music business. You know what I mean? I knew where Tasha K was located within what? 3 days? 3 days. I've been in Atlanta for years. We go down there every year for the BET Hip Hop Awards. Dunwoody, Compound, SO. What's the Ethiopian kid that owned all them clubs too? Alex. Ethiopian brother. Shout out to him. You know what I mean? Alex know me. I know people all across the country because the job used to take us everywhere and we'd be at the same locations year after year after year. Memorial Day weekend, again. Memorial Day weekend, again. All-Star weekend, again. You know what I mean? Over and over and over. So each year, these same people are there. We have homegirls in Miami, still to this day. Shout out to Aisha. You can check out Aisha. She was in T-Pain's video, Akon's video, a couple other people. I hear Sean. On compris, mademoiselle. Chapeau, on compris. So, you know, like, it's crazy, man, because I look at any event as playing the position of neutrality. But in this certain situation, I got to go with choke, no joke, because everything that Tasha K said was definitely this hypocritical, man. Because this is all the shit you do. If you was a lawyer, you'd be an ambulance chaser. That's what we call it in NY. If you was a lawyer, you'd be an ambulance chaser. Not like us. You a vlogger. You ain't got no history with us. You ain't had our experiences. You don't know the people we know. The people that we do know that choose to talk to you, that within our circle, they ain't gonna tell you nothing but not even a third, if not even 1/4 of what the fuck actually happened. And in most of the cases, they'll just allude to the shit. They're not gonna tell you in depth what's going on. So you would have to be fucking delusional to think otherwise. You understand what I'm saying? The only nigga I know that they really do that with voluntarily, seemingly, is this nigga Vlad. You understand what I'm saying? Who used to be called Vlad the Butcher. Who used to come to Glad Boy and get white labels and send his little peoples up there and shit. I think that nigga came up to get his white labels like 2 or 3 times, and we dropped off some white labels to him one time. Only reason we dropped off white labels to him because that position we was in, that was the thing to do. Go drop off shit to the DJs. 112 got new shit out. You know what I'm saying? G-Dep got this new record out. Whoever got the new record out, the white labels, which were 12-inch records, they had white centers, but they were, wide length. We take them to the DJs. The DJs would, you know what I mean? Make sure they get played in the club or whatever. I saw the intervention of those CDJ turntables turn into a whole digital platform where they went from that to CDs and then from CDs to digital forms now, where you just need one piece literally now and a computer. I have to talk about that sooner or later too. Other thing I want to squeeze in here real quick, and I'm going to go back to Tasha K because I got a little bit more to say, but I want to make sure I articulate it right. I want to talk about Monique and her comments. And I know it's old. I know it's about 2 or 3 days old, whatever. But I like to reflect on shit before I talk about it. You know what I mean? And as for reflecting, this is about the drive too tonight, guys. So it's Cash App, $STRINGERBELL80. I want to thank Thomas for donating to me. Somebody asked me about Super Chats today. I think it was my homegirl, Sailor Moon. And I want to say to her this. The Super Chats are a trap. Now, many of y'all may not be unbeknownst to this, but this is why I prefer y'all donate there, or the PayPal link is in the description as well. Which you don't need to sign up for anything. You just click the link and literally, you know what I mean, with your card. But let me tell you something. Super Chats, I don't know if you guys noticed, they take 30% of whatever your donations are. So for example, if you donate $100 to me, them motherfuckers get, I think, well, you come out with $88. $88 on 30%. Now that surcharge supersedes Cash App, supersedes PayPal, supersedes what's the other ones? Zelle, and what's the name? Jesus Christ. I want to say it too, and I can't think of it right off the top of my head, but it's another one. But they supersede all of them. Oh yeah, it's the one through Facebook. Supersedes all that shit, all right? Now, at 30%, evidently the more that you get, the less you get. You know what I'm saying? So, and the more percentage they get. So, for example, if somebody give you a $200 donation, you really come off seeing $176. You see what I'm saying? Like, this shit is fucking crazy, bro. That's why I don't do the super chat shit. And I learned that from Corey Holcomb. And I learned that from, it was another one too, Benjamin Dixon. It was the other one. Shout out to Benjamin Dixon. If you guys don't know who Benjamin Dixon is, go over there and check him out. Tell him Davin sent you over there. He'll know exactly who I am. I told Benjamin, and he'll tell you this, I told Benjamin a long time ago, I said, you're going to be big. You don't see it yet, but you're going to be huge. And at the time, Benjamin Dixon had a very simple setup. I think he was using his phone. and he was on the format with Boyce Watkins. That was the first time I saw him, and I took a liking to him right there at that point. But I saw him there because I said, I see this happen. He looks exactly like a mixture between Gen X and Millennial. He is right in that perfect age category, just like I am. And it was amazing because I watched Benjamin Dixon. I used to go in his chat room and fuck with him. And he would listen. I was sent to watch him because I knew he would grow. And he did just that. Ended up on the Young Turks, CNN, and a whole bunch of other shit. Beautiful setup now, where he had just started basically with sitting at his desk with his background. This is how big a YouTuber can become. So if you guys don't know him, go check him out. He's a progressive, I'll warn you if it's not your value system. But his name is Benjamin Dixon. He's out of Massachusetts. And his brother, I stand by him. I stand by him. But make sure you tell him that Davin Lewis told y'all to go over there. That should be entertaining. Old Benjamin. He did exactly what I said he was going to do. See what a couple whispers to get your kid. Keep on. I like him. Now, Monique said very nicely in that video, and I watched it. Ladies, you got to be very careful when you go out because you're representing yourself wearing bonnets. Bonnets. You know who wears bonnets? Amish women wear bonnets. I'm sorry. Amish women, Gaelic women, there are a whole host of other women for other traditional or cultural reasons or whatever the case may be. And they wear them in public because their religion confides them to do so, or their cultural experience resides for them to do so, or it's accepted culturally. It's like a nun would cover her hair. And in the Bible it says, and you see this practice in Muslim tradition, that a woman is supposed to cover her hair within denotes the means and the ways around other men. That's why women wear hijabs. And that's why if you visit any of these Muslim countries and you're a woman or a foreigner, you need to wear a hijab too. Ask any reporter that, they'll tell you that. If you're in a Muslim country as a performer, if you go out in public, you got to wear a hijab. Hijab is usually the law under Sharia law in those particular countries. If you're a reporter, it's the same thing. The only one that's exempt from that is the soldiers. And I think some of the soldiers in Saudi Arabia, I think they make them wear hijabs even in the military. So, I believe Syria is another one. I say that to say this. With all those other cultures being pointed at too, right? How thick is it to say that the people that shot back at Monique have a point? But, be as it may, the underlying fact and argument here still remains this. None of those women are wearing those bonnets for religious reasons. That's what I want to point out. None of those women are wearing those things most times for religious reasons. Now, in Brooklyn, all throughout New York, really, you have black Muslims, okay? American Muslims. Those girls who wear hijabs in public, and they're American, you know? So, do I point out and say, am I really saying this in my preference that I don't see these women out like this because it reflects on me in a way, and like the next person is looking at me like, hey Monique, hey, where's your hair, your bonnet, bitch? I'm sorry. Could you imagine? Hey, Monique, your hair looks great. Where's your bonnet, bitch? So, I mean, did Monique mean this personally or what? Now, I'm going to say this, and it's going to hurt some of y'all. Monique has not been looking great to me. Like, Monique, when I see Monique, I always get the reflection that something is depressed about her. You know what I mean? Like, deeply depressed. Like, I think her depression reflects the way she looks, because she doesn't look like the same person. And for me, I think her not dyeing her hair, not being that old was a mistake. I think that Monique, honestly and truthfully, I think she needs to, like, I don't know, man. Like, I think she needs to, like, dye her hair or something, you know? Like, for me. Trying to play this young, old woman, I don't think that's a good role for her. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't be so quick to be one to be called auntie and all that shit. You know what I'm saying? Angela Bassett, 60-something years old, in the best shape ever. Not that she ain't always been fine. I'm going to talk about how I feel about it, okay? How I feel about it is this. When I see women out in fucking pajama pants or lounge wear or some shit like that, I do look at myself and I have to say to myself quickly, I make a judgment. I make a judgment based on this, not on your choice to wear a bonnet. No. Your choice to wear a bonnet has nothing to do with it. It's all the implications that come with your bonnet. You understand what I'm saying for me? This bitch about that shit. It's gonna be a problem. She get upset. It's gonna get loud in here. Oh no, I think I just wanna go home. I don't wanna be here no more. There's a synergy and a symmetry that goes along with a bonnet and a hood. Even if you work at a bank, you hood. You know what I'm saying? Now, I don't never remember. I think it's a difference in caliber. Back, I'm gonna say even when I was a kid, okay? When I was growing up in the 80s, I could definitely say that when I was growing up in the 80s, I could say there were women, if they wore like rollers in their hair, y'all remember them pink rollers? Like big, what's his name? Big Perm had his hair, Big Worm. Oh shit. Like, people like that, people in the hood would call them for what they are. Oh, that's some hood booger motherfucker, you know, by the day's terms. Or that's like they from the projects, you know what I'm saying? And it's not shitting on them, it's just like that's what you know what I mean? You resonated it with. You know what I mean? This person's from the hood. They don't care what they look like. They going right back home, eat up that food stamp food. You know, this was the interpretation that most people had. Matter of fact, I heard Tasha K say something that stuck out to me in her interview with Campbell Samuel. She said, yeah, I just got on here regular talking, like, you know, I seen my aunties and all them talk all their life. And I said to myself, oh, generational gossipers. Meaning, like I always say, a lot of talk that's on the internet now is talk that we used to have in the barbershops, talk that we used to have at the dinner table, talks that we used to have at parties, talks that we used to have in front of the liquor store. You know what I'm saying? Where motherfuckers would say what they say, then move on off to what they said. You know, and if it was really that serious, you know, you would tell your man, yo, so-and-so putting this out there about you or whatever. You know? It's not like that anymore. Nowadays, it's like, you know, people will put things out for you on YouTube in an attempt to, you know, discredit you or whatever. And so I thought that was another point where Tasha K to me was unauthentic on that point. Sweetheart, you gotta watch what you say. You know what I mean? I like Tasha K, and she could be so much more, you know? But she wants to be this vile motherfucker, and trust me, sweetheart, you ain't vile. I'm foul. You think you're crazy, motherfucker? I'll show you crazy. Fucking Tasha, get the fuck out of here. Tasha K. I like the girl. I swear, you gotta slow down. I can't even talk that shit. You know? And sometimes, let me tell you, the guys that work in this industry, they wait years. Years. You ever see that scene in Casino when the woman, she came back and she said, I invested all this money, and where is my money? I want my money. Why are you doing me like this? You ever seen Casino? And then nigga comes in there and blows her fucking brains out. You know. And so, you know, just never saw it coming. You gotta be careful, Tasha. You gotta be real careful. Don't let salaciousness and gossiping take you down the burner. And sometimes not saying nothing at all is the best response. Jay-Z used to get dissed all the time. Now he's a multi-billionaire. You know one of the things he used to didn't do? He didn't respond to people. There's only 2 times he responded. And that was to Nas, 3 times. Nas, Jazzo, and Beanie Siegel. Beans would tell you if he wasn't in his feelings, and even Jazz bum ass. I left condoms in your baby seat, your child's baby seat, whatever that shit, man. They don't respond to niggas. I stopped responding to motherfuckers unless it's needed, because I know the culture depending on it, and I know how this shit works. And how it really works. To a complexity that, where many of you guys are guessing, I actually know how it works, the inner layers of it. And some people will be like, well, how can you ain't popping on YouTube? Don't let YouTube confuse you with an FCC affiliated network. It's not. It's a turning mechanism. And those entities, the NBC, CBS, and all the other such, still supersede the call. There was a young Indian woman off of YouTube that was taken and given her own show on NBC, and the show flopped. You know why? Because you have a totally different demographic of people that are here and are expecting to hear a different type of, or see a different type of programming than they're regularly accustomed to via YouTube. Meaning YouTube is only going to give you so much production value. I know people have been on here and they've done movies. But is that the same experience for technically most Americans, even the new generations, even our generations that have delved into it along the years, of there's a distinct separation between YouTube and television. That's the best way I can put it, you know? And if you don't think so, you're out of your fucking mind. YouTube hands checks out, yes they do. Somebody asked me why my page wasn't monetized. Well, the motherfuckers decided they didn't want to monetize me for the more price of the film, you know. So, and before you guys say anything, this is a rollie, and I'm trying this thing where I bought a bag of rolling tobacco again. I used to buy it in Jersey all the time, but I bought a ball of rolling tobacco because I can't, man, listen. Rent fucked me up 2 months in a row. You know what I'm saying? It did, because I'm just now getting on my feet. But anyway, I'll talk about that later. All right? When you have somebody like Tasha K getting involved in things like this, it sets a precedence for other women to do the same thing. That's why I was talking about women. Listen, women, Tasha K is short. She's a short girl with a fupa. You got a mommy fupa. I smoke a lot because I be fucking nervous. Tasha K, unbeknownst to you, there's a lot of people that are watching you. And I know a couple of people that are paying you off here and there to take other people out what you could potentially do for others. Sweetheart, don't fall for it. Don't let that little bit of money that these motherfucking niggas are setting you up as you trying to set them up for doing. If that's what you're doing. Because those same people that hand you in them little tight, tiny bags, that's what they out of time. They would turn around and eat you alive and throw you to the sides of the lions. See, one thing I learned in 17 years of the music industry is there's very few friends that you'll ever actually meet in the music industry. And usually those people that you meet as friends are actually artists. Meaning they're in the music industry because they know that is perpetually the place where they can show their art to the world, not because they want to make money. These are people that are in positions where they like the music industry as itself, and they want to help navigate it. This is the branch of people I come from. And when we meet each other, either or, personality, know who each other are. You know? One of the most authentic people I can say that's doing a podcast right now, y'all tell him Dab to say, what's up, it's Matt Hoffa. Matt Hoffa, I met Matt Hoffa at Daddy House Recording Studio. He'll tell you the same fucking story. And I'd like to think of him as a friend. I've never reached out to try to get on the show and nothing like that. I just gave him praise for it. But I remember saying one thing to Matt Hoffa when I invited him to do the same podcast I mentioned, which is OG Mac Drama. I said, yo, son, you need to do your own shit. Then I did another joint that I tried to hook him up with Power 103 up in Hartford. Got that interview. You know what I'm saying? Live down. Shout out to all of them up at Power, I think it's Power 105, Power 1077, some shit. Craig G and all of them up there in Hartford, Connecticut. Shout out to them. You know what I'm saying? Definitely instrumental in Connecticut artists as a whole, you know, instrumental in the Paper Boys back in the day. 50 Cent signing them, and then I think a couple of them went to jail or some shit. Some nigga shit. You know what I'm saying? But it fell through, but 50 Cent was going to sign them. The Paper Boys out of Hartford, Connecticut. Shout out to them. I remember them boys. They were some good dudes. They were. I don't know what happened. They were some good dudes. Let me tell you something, man. On everything I love, this gossiping shit gotta cease. But back to Monique. Was Monique right in saying what she was saying? Was Monique wrong? What is your opinion? I think Monique had an argument. I think a lot of girls come out the house intentionally like this to maybe, possibly distract men from approaching them had they looked together. But the way it works out is it appears to many other women that come out the opposite way that you are lazy or et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Which I have to say myself, I personally kind of get the same condition as sometimes what I see in myself as a man. I see a girl in a bonnet with her hair, and she's next to a chick that's fully dressed, looking right. Even though the girl with the bonnet on her head, personality-wise, might be better, my eyes objectifiably go to the girl that's dolled up. You see what I'm saying? So even though the other girl with the bonnet may have the better personality, may be the more solid chick, my eyes as a man are going to there, because the first thing we want to do is run. I'm Blackthorn. Give me Vajay. It's delicious. Bring me another. You know, that's how men are. That's another one of my characters from my skit. So Guys, you can check that. Y'all can check those out pretty soon, but I think you'll like my Black Thor character. Black Thor! It's fucking hilarious. I ain't gonna do too much here. But I'm telling you guys, this whole salacious brand of going after each other is terrible, but did Monique have a point? And why are people attacking her? Y'all loved Monique 5 minutes ago. Leave Monique alone! Now this is, fuck Monique, get that bitch out of here! Off with her head! That's what they would have said, I don't know, a couple thousand years ago. It's the same equation. Okay, I don't know about this rolling cigarette shit. Yeah. But I'm trying to wean myself off cigarettes. I don't think this is working either. I got a whole bag of this now too. What the fuck? Anyway, I don't think that Monique meant any intentional harm, but I do think some of what she said came out of narcissism and trying to negate women in a direction. And sometimes some narcissism is warranted. And in this case, I can understand her. Now, I don't know about y'all, but let's just generally say your mamas and your grandmothers, right? Which are respectively, for the most part, in these two generations, mostly young. All right? So we're talking an age range anywhere from 34 to 45. You grew up in an era, if you're around that age, or you're a kid from a parent that age, well, mama and grandma just didn't go out like that. In fact, you were considered lower tier if you did go out like that. Now, I'm not suggesting that's what it is. Well, clearly what I'm saying is you would be mere mentioned with trash. Associated with trash. That's a hard pill to swallow, but that's how people used to look at it. I don't care how much black people want to pretend, you know what I mean? Or Latin people want to pretend. Because trust me, it's some Latin niggas that walk around the same way. You listen, in Uptown and in east side of Harlem, there used to be some niggas, and the west side of Harlem too, used to be some motherfuckers called the Jerry Curls. They were a gang, all right? They later became DDP and there's some other shit. But I guess Trinitario, DDP, all this shit linked to them. The Jerry Curls were a Dominican gang, and all these niggas had Jerry Curls, I swear to God. That was a claim to fame. All these niggas had Jerry Curls, you know what I'm saying? Like, it was like attack or motherfucking, what's that nigga's name? Just let your soul glow. Let it shine. Just let your soul glow. Let it shine. Let it shine. Ow. Motherfucker get off the couch, grease spot. That type of Jerry Curl. Yeah, man. And the Jerry Curls used to run shit. Dig? Factory. So, you know, you had to go uptown, you had to see Poppy. One of the amazing things about me, I speak Spanish. Tú sabes, creo gente. Pero yo quiero la Montega, tú sabes. Por 12 este tío, tú sabes. Por mi hoy yo no tiene mucho chavo este tío, tú sabes. ¿Por qué? Tú tienes más por mí. Cha. No, esto está bueno en 12. Ok. Es 24, ¿no? Ah, está bien. So, you know, how many niggas can talk to Poppy? Yo soy negrito aquí, Ken. You know what I mean? So, let me tell you something. That's another life. But that's why niggas used to have me, my three homies around. My whole crew, my street crew was Panamanian niggas, Dominican niggas, you know what I mean? And a few black niggas too, you know what I'm saying? But mostly like bilingual niggas. You know what I'm saying? And the mistake they would always make is they would always think that we was just like pretty black niggas. or some shit. Like not like that, but you know what I mean? And they would be fucked up when we start speaking Spanish. I remember me and my man, I can say his name because he did this time. My man Albertisto, he used to we used to speak Spanish with each other and shit like that. People used to be like bugged out, like, oh, them niggas is black, but like it's bugged out. Anyway, Monique might have a point, you know. Monique might have a point, and I can say this shit because that shit exists both in black and Latin culture, where women wear these bonnets out in public and shit. And sometimes they look like the motherfucking help instead of the queen. That's why I said, you know, this queen terminology sometimes we take it for granted. You know what I mean? Taking out of text and out of term too. So when I say Monique has a point, I mean it in regard to this. We have some beautiful women, and not even 20 years ago. Women look totally different. I'm going to go as far as say 10 years ago. Nowadays, women look like they just stepped off the star. You know those UFOs I was talking about earlier? Some of these women look like they just stepped off the motherfuckers. I mean, think about it. Chicks got blue hair, orange hair, pink hair and shit. And I'm not trying to say that white girls don't. They don't. They do. I'm not saying that. There's a couple white females I've seen that had it. You know what I'm saying? What's homegirl's name? And I like her. All the good girls go to hell or some shit like that. I forgot what her name is, but you know, there's a lot of different girls that do it. But you know, you're not Jewish, are you? You know, you're not Gaelic or Irish, are you? You know, you're not Lithuanian, are you? So you know, if you're not in those cultures, and you're closer to what I am, I would think naturally this in a civilized world, that would be the conversation. And some people get offended by that, especially if you're women. But no, let me tell you, ladies, you know, if we would believe either or system, I believe this system, that before Eve, God gave Adam Lilith. Lilith didn't want to submit to him, and in fact was worse than Eve in this regard, that she disregarded everything that Adam had said and actually tried to rule over Adam. God came down and destroyed her. Out of the clay of Lilith and some, I guess, other molding, as the story is told, God created Eve as Adam's second wife and instilled her with part of Adam's rib, hoping that she wouldn't rebel against Adam either. And she didn't for the most part. What she was deceived, easily deceived. And to this day, you have both of those things making their reappearances every, I'm going to say eon to every 100 years. The same rhetoric makes its point out again. The worship of women. And I have no problem with women. No, that's not what I'm saying. I believe there's some women out there that they need to call the shot. They need to call the shot. They need to use it. When they pull the codes, they're going to use it. I do believe there's some badass women out there. But traditionally, what I'm saying is, women are there to nurture, to suckle, shit like that. And yes, you belong in the workplace. Yes, you belong in the offices. Yes, you belong as a CEO or an SEO. You belong as all those positions. Yes, you do. And I think you should be paid equally, if not more, for your contributions. But I don't think we should have a whole nation full of motherfucking sisters. And that's what's being created with all this sensitive ass shit that's going on nowadays, you know? See who else is in here. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm missing comments and everything. Oh, hell no. You are not going to pervert the word of the Most High. Brother, you out of line for this. Repent, please. Why is Tasha K needing money? I don't know. That's true. Dress for no mess. Try weak bully me, James. Your name is random in the dictionary. Come from James, you and you are original. I am, and you can be in my happy space for about $10 as well. I don't know what's going on with you guys. Why ask the obvious? Don't listen being spoken. Thank you very much. Donation for some. Salute can. You know what? And I want to address that right there. I have a donation drive thing, and there's every black and Latin blogger that does it. And what kills me is a motherfucker will come on the page and try to chastise somebody about asking for a donation, but your favorite blog will be on there every 5 fucking minutes. You know what I'm saying? In the past 12, I think, uploads that I did, even when I needed it, I didn't put my fucking donation link or anything else in the thing. And everybody that knows, there are regulars that come in here and check me out, and they always put my donation link in the thing, even when I forget to put it in there. You know what I'm saying? That's Divalicious and my other homegirl, I can't think of it, Cocoa Butter. And if it ain't her, Patrice Gardner. If it ain't her, Annette. You know what I'm saying? They always put my donation link in there. And the reason they do that is because those sisters look out. You know what I'm saying? And they play their part. Now, the rhetoric in which I was referring to and somebody said it was blasphemy, I actually disagree with you. And I would say this, I don't want to get into an argument with it because I recognize your name and you've always been good. What I mean is, what you're saying and what I'm saying can both be argued. Some people will disagree with that. Some people will agree with that and show you not only, the Bible itself, let's say this. The canons of the Bible itself have been separated and removed in many different fractions. Anybody that knows that knows this. This is history, okay? This is not something made up. And this is the last time I'm going to mention this. And please don't log off because I'm talking about this, but I just want to address this. Now, I grew up in the church, okay? And I know how Baptist religions teach. I know how Catholic religions teach. I know how Protestant religions teach. And they all teach something different, but they're in the same space. And so all denominations of Christianity are like that. But mark my word as I say this. The story of Lilith transcends Christianity. The story of Lilith, she has different names, but she goes into Judea, she goes into the Muslim world and many other religions across the world, or some iteration of Lilith. So even in the lost books of the Bible, as they were called, which come from the Dead Sea Scrolls, there were some of the removed canons of the Bible. Some will argue that or whatever, but the actual text themselves in Hebrew are on display right now in Israel. And they go back and forth between there and Germany and everywhere else. And have come to the Smithsonian in in DC. So I very much believe in the rhetoric of Lilith and Eve. I very much believe in the rhetoric of a lot of Christianity. I believe in the rhetoric of a lot of Islam. I believe in the rhetoric of a lot of Judaism. You know what I mean? I really do. And there's different pinpoints of why I agree with all three of them. One mainly being that they're a trifecta and they're all mentioned. And it's said that the different disciples went on and they discovered these different, iterations of what now is religion. So, however you believe is however you believe. But I hate as a culture, this is the very few times I will say the word we. I hate when we as Black and Latinos, as soon as somebody says something that you don't like, you just scream it out for what you know. You know what I mean? I don't like to do that on every occasion. I think this is one of the occasions. I don't like to do it on politics, and I don't like to do it on religion. And one of the reasons I don't like, I went in front of Trump Tower numerous times, probably like 30-something plus times in a 2-year span, doing lives, when there was no other black publications up there that was major or minor up there. In fact, the blacks that did come up there and the Latins did come up there, they walk past Trump Tower, say something smart out their mouth, and then keep walking. And then look at me and try to grill me. Mind you, there's 5 white men behind me with AK-47s. You understand what I'm saying? So why don't you grill them like that, you coward? So any fucking way. Well, the reason I'm saying that is when I went up there, I was talking against Joe Biden. And here we are with Joe Biden, and he done fucked everybody over. He lied to the black constituency, the National Black Caucus as well. It's noted. You've had ALC cut it out, call it out, and many other people call it out. You know, he lied. NAACP has called him out. What else did you expect from the segregationists? And I said this shit right in front of Trump Tower. Around 40 fucking cops were around me. If anybody's seen that video, if not, just scroll down, hit my name, scroll down, you'll see them. They're there. I had like 40 fucking cops around me. Because something that happened, I forgot that day with Trump. And they had like mad people there at the Trump Tower. And I was telling people, don't vote for fucking Biden. Those liberal ideas don't work for black and Latinos. Neither does socialism. If you need an example of that, nowhere, no country in the world or United States or anywhere else has survived under socialism. Not one country that's indoctrinated it. Not one. Not one. Venezuela thought they could. So what happened to them? Socialism does not work. In the Canadian economy, because of the way the Canadian dollar trades and what it's worth and their GDP or whatever, it works for them. It works for England to a certain degree, but it's starting to, break down. That's why they try to implement Brexit and a whole bunch of other things that kind of like address a budgetary, position in many of those things. Monique has a point. Monique, maybe they need to listen to Auntie, if that's what she want to be called. You know what I'm saying? Maybe she need to be. Maybe she need to be. So I would just hope that a lot of the sisters would come out a little bit more black and Latino, less masculine, looking like you're getting ready to beat a motherfucker up with a baseball bat. You know what I'm saying? And for all you motherfucking butch, what is it? What do you call them now? We used to call them butch. What do you call them? What do you call them now? I don't know what you call them now. But for all the butch lesbians, y'all need to start using deodorant, like or everything I love. Now I say y'all smelling real musky. I just smelled a couple butch lesbians, and they smell real musky. Including one day last week when I was on the train. I just want to talk about that shit real quick. I know you eat for Jay, but let's just say if I was a woman and I was a lesbian too, and your arm smelled like that, I wouldn't want you eating nothing on me. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't even want you touching me. Be like, no, help me, please, somebody help me. Her arms smell like mildew and old catnip. Shit. You know what I mean? We goofing right now. Y'all hit the like buttons for me. Thank you, y'all. I appreciate y'all. Man, make sure y'all hit up the Cash App too, man. It's all about me tonight, man. Let me address my little story real quick, and I want to do that in this 20 minutes, and I'm going to another hour, and I'm going to talk about recap back to some more with Choke No Joke and a couple other things. So I hope y'all rock out with me for that. But I want to explain who I am to a lot of new people that just tuning into me or whatever. But I'm gonna do this real quickly, and I'll get back into that. And I'm gonna spend 20 minutes with you. My name is Davin Lewis. For years, I worked with Bad Boy Entertainment. I started out at the street team. We put up poster boards, went all across the city and everything like that. Later on, it transcended us being in the office, working for the marketing director, the assistant marketing director, and so on and so forth. I promoted almost every artist you could think of in the span from 2001 to 2016 of Bad Boy Entertainment. Really, originally started out in 2000, but the latter part of 2000, so 16 to 17 years, depending on who's counting. It was a joyous time, it was a great time, and everything like that. With the invention of basically the internet and how it was, our jobs became obsolete at the time. So we started dwindling down in jobs more and more and more, and ultimately we were let go, just like many other employees from Puff have been let go. And or however you want to label it. Yeah, motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? However you want to label it. But as a result, how can I fucking say it? As a result of that, and combined with something else that went on in my life, which was a breakup with my ex. I ended up going into some mental conditions and things of that nature, whatever, losing my place. I had a very beautiful place that I liked. I lived by the beach, 3 miles up the beach. I lived right on the shoreline. It's hard to miss the water anywhere here in Connecticut, in our beautiful state here. You know, it really is. Um, Especially if you live on this corridor right here. It's all to see is water. It's all to see is water. I'm gonna put up some pictures, some video of the ducks and shit like that I put up on my website. I ain't gonna say all that, but I'm around at 23, 24 different websites, social media sites. You'd be surprised where I'd be at. You'd be like, oh shit, he over here too. You didn't know? You know, I have fun on social media. I try to keep it positive. All my social media sites are different. That's the tip I would give y'all, if anything, you know. But from there, I gave him my apartment, came to New York, and I expected from all my seniority and all my years working with the company that it would be easy for me to get a job. But what I hadn't found out was, and I hadn't realized at the time, because I'm an artist. So see, I was going to Daddy's house, recording studio, record my songs, and working with producers over there and work with everybody. I have Steve Dickey, and yes, that's his name, Steve Dickey, and he's mixed down Fabulous and every fucking body else. So, you know, this is his name. He's a white kid. Very fucking talented. Shaquan, Brian, a couple other people. All worked with all those artists all those producers that work with, you know what I'm saying, other artists. They always gave me the top tier producers. I always had the top tier producers. You know, worked on 112's album, worked on Slim's album, worked on Cassie's, you know, whoever. That's who I was working with. I have, in most of the videos, I'm going to re-upload them for y'all, like I told y'all. I swear to God I am. I have so many people on there that are talking about who they recorded, like, Jesus Christ, Wyclef, Shakira, what's this kid's name? God, what is it? Justin Bieber. Like, and I'm just sitting there, I'm listening to his lip. I'm like, shit, you know what I mean? Justin Bieber. I recorded with the nigga that recorded Justin Bieber. Oh shit, you know? Shit happens like that. That's being in the music industry. All that other shit Tasha K talking about trying to live vicariously through niggas. Get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here. You a turncoat. You tell on these niggas on YouTube, you goddamn tell on these niggas in the police. Yeah, you would. You talk right to the police. So if you're just gonna do something to him, you better do it quick. Let me tell you something. All the time that I went through the shit I went through fucking 3 homeless shelters. 2 of them failed me. This one succeeded, I'll give them that. And he got me into an apartment situation, but it's not my apartment. There's 3 other people there who are cool people. I have no problem with them. I really don't. But there's 3 other people there. All 3 of them have their own mental conditions and everything like that, I'm sure. You know what I'm saying? Like the people, one thing I've noticed is the people that are in these programs, they have very different issues than I have. You know what I'm saying? Most of them have a drug and alcohol dependency or whatever. I suffer from PTSD and anxiety attacks. You know what I mean? I make no pun of that. I've said that shit from day one for what happened to me, which I don't like to put shorty out there. But I had a situation with a girl where I found out she was cheating on me and got poked up. You know what I mean? And it wasn't a shock of getting poked up. I'd have been all kinds of shit, shooting at niggas, pulling out on niggas, all that shit. It was the fact that this was a motherfucker who was sleeping in bed with me. And I couldn't come to the realization of that. This is a motherfucker that slept in the bed with me for 7 years, now stabbing me over a motherfucker that from the beginning, she had been still dealing with. You know what I mean? As I'm into my journey, I got a voucher. And that voucher is for me to get into my permanent apartment, okay? But that voucher has to be used in 120 fucking days. If it's not, they'll give you a short extension. But the problem that we're finding is a lot of these people, because of these moratoriums that are out, because of COVID-19, are not so amped to want to rent to somebody with these vouchers, even though they're guaranteed their rent. I think the reason is because they currently have tenants that they're trying to get rid of that haven't paid rent in 6, 7, 8 months, most cases. Because most of these places are not like apartment complexes, like, you know what I mean? These are like private owners that have sublets of like 3 or 4 apartments in there, you know, some shit like that. I have where I can spend up to $1,700 a month for a place. And I plan on getting that. But in my, how can you call it, my fall, I had a separate storage room. I have a storage room now that has the clothes and stuff in it. Winter clothes versus, well, I had some summer clothes or whatever, which is another thing I fucking need, because I left something wet in my storage, and my storage ain't the it's temperature control, but not to that degree. And I don't know if it was this, like, I think it was something I had washed and it just didn't dry all the way. That's the only thing I could figure out, because the bag it was in. I said, well, that's the shit I washed, and that's probably what it was. And it made mold come over all the shit. So I had to roll like I had shorts for the next year. I had like 2 other pairs, because I would get them, you know, it's here, there, whatever. New York would get shit cheap. You know what I'm saying? Shit that y'all get everywhere else for $200, we get that shit for like $50 fucking $20. You know what I'm saying? Depending on where you go. Everybody in New York know that. They'll be like, them shit's like fly as fuck. What you pay for them? About $400. I think I got these for $20. You know what I'm saying? It ain't real. You know? That's how we do. But yes, absolutely, to every degree. The funny thing, man, is that I had another storage unit. That storage unit was a little bit more expensive than the one I had. It had on my furniture, my TVs. I had a 65-inch motherfucking TV, nigga, that I got on sale because it was a motherfucking display. Let me tell y'all a secret. At Best Buy, if y'all go to this motherfucker, ask them if any of the display items have been discounted for purchase. Now, the display items, they'll usually give you for a heavy discount. So they had what's the name, they had clearanced out a 65-inch, right? And at the time, I think it was like November or something like that. So they had been offering another sale on top of that because it was Black Friday. Man, I walked out with the 65-inch, I ain't gonna believe how much. $273, nigga. After all the discounts, $273. I think the shit started out at like, at the time, I think it was like $1,200 or something like that. It was expensive. It had been that deeply discounted because it was a display item. And the only thing that was wrong with it was at the bottom, and they never gave me, it wasn't the screen, it was the actual fixture itself. And you couldn't even fucking tell because it was black matted. So it was like, who the fuck is it? And even if you did, I wouldn't give a fuck. That's fucking 65. You ain't got a 65-inch. Fuck you. You know what I mean? So, you know what I'm saying? That is that argument. You know. So it was like, you know, to have that motherfucking hanging, but I lost that. My TVs, my fucking furniture. That's the biggest thing. I had like Victorian furniture. I had real nice furniture. Me and my ex had purchased that together. I had the statue bust that I'm gonna miss of who was it? King Tut. I'll never be able to get that back again. I bought that from this brother at one of the fairs down in Brooklyn. They have like more fairs and stuff like that that open on like Friday and Saturdays. People go through there. You find all kinds of shit. People have old cameras from like the 70s and shit and 80s, Polaroid cameras, you know, all kinds of nostalgic shit or whatever. And that guy had that. And that bus, I swear to God to you, that shit looked like it was made in Egypt itself. It was big as fuck. Because when I carried it, I had to carry it on my shoulder this way. You know what I mean? It was huge. And that motherfucker used to have it sitting on a platform in the floor. That's what I'm gonna miss that statue. Now, I had a lot of things, paperwork. I had some outfits, t-shirts, shit like that. Shit I can't get back. More pictures. I had a shitload of more pictures from my bad boy days and all that shit or whatever. Gone. So I'm starting over my life. you know. And I hate to say this the way I say it, but I would hope that, I need help. You know what I'm saying? And it's unfortunate that like a lot of people will come on here and they be like, "Oh, nigga, you begging for money and all that shit." I don't know. Sean. I hope Sean comes back. I like Sean. Um, Sometimes you say things people don't like, and sometimes you have the choice of how you react. With Sean, he's been a loyal person. He's always come back here, so I have nothing bad to say about him. I don't know if he's logged out or not. I have nothing bad to say about him. I'm sorry I upset you if I did, my friend. But we all got our belief systems, goddamn. He's a good guy. So yeah, I need help, man. So it's Cash App $STRINGERBELL80. Now I know some people are gonna throw up the argument, and I want to address this real quick. Oh, well, them people, they give you money for that shit. No, they don't. Not here. Um, Here in the state of Connecticut, they can, and there are agencies that do that stuff. But right now, those what's the name's allocations, as I've been told, are not there. So that's why. So yeah, more importantly, it's getting food. I had to pay rent this month where I stay. I have to pay rent. I don't know if y'all know that or not. So actually, y'all donations previously went towards that 2 months now. You know what I'm saying? They do a month to month with me right now until I get my permanent place. So it's a place. It's like a stepping stone apartment. I guess that's what they call it. I just have one room. My room is very small, but you can motivate, move around. You know what I'm saying? And most of the time I utilize it to research and shit, looking for jobs. I've got to find something that is, see, this is another thing too that I meant to throw in. One of the provisions of keeping the voucher, or whatever the case is that you cannot exceed a certain amount of income, or they adjust the price, or they will cash you out and you no longer eligible for it. Meaning that they look at it as, okay, well, if you're working all these hours, you can afford a regular joint. You know what I'm saying? And there's things I got to go through. I've got to go through some therapy, you know what I mean, to deal with my anxiety attacks and PTSD or whatever. So, I mean, we sat down and talked about it. Me working a full-time job probably wouldn't be a good idea anyway. That's why I'm glad that I'm creative and I actually have information to give. I have stories to tell. I'm authentic as far as my own right. Streets won't disagree with me on that. You know what I'm saying? Streets will not disagree with me on that. I've always been the same person. Everything they say to me, and you still the same. Yep, I'm still the same. I heard that mother the other night, and it felt so good when I heard that. Because I heard that Army of the Dead. If y'all ain't never checked that out, check that shit out. That shit is kind of dope. It's with John Batista. But they walk off with their homegirl when they ask their homegirl, does she want to go on a mission with them? And they walk off from their homegirl, and they say, she's still the same. I am too. I'm still the same. I don't change for people, man. I don't do all that. You know what I mean? I ain't never gonna do that. But it is what it is. I make videos all the time, for all y'all that this first time coming with me. I always make videos to show people what I'm doing with my money, where I'm going, or if this is going on or whatever. But primarily just to eat and shit like that, day to day moving around. I've still got to go to the dentist, so that's going to be a trip for me because that's on the other side of the state, Farmington. So I've got to travel out there. I've got a lot of things to do. I've got to get an ID, you know what I'm saying, that says this city and this area, whatever, because that's going to be confusing for folks because my ID says somewhere else, you know what I mean? So, yeah, there's a lot of things I have to give right now. That ID thing I can't escape. That I need to get a local ID, period. So that's about $45 right there. So yeah, all donations would help right now. My people, even if you're half of my people, whatever the fuck, I'm black. You know what I mean? So like, mother's from she was born in Virginia, but she's in New York. It's real out here for men of color, yo. It really is. We got niggas attacking us from all different nationalities, including our own women. Including our own women, black and Latin. I have women attack me sometimes because they feel they can do that because they look at me and they be like, I'm slim, They don't know what to make of me because they're like, yo, he's slim, but that nigga a little cut. But at the same time, I might be able to, nah, you're not going to be able to take me, trust me on this. So they'll see me smoking a cigarette and don't think I do anything. Like every morning I do the same routine. I do squats with my legs, do back cracks, all that shit. I did a video when I was bagging on the wall. But the other thing I wanted to talk about was the violence in America amongst the youth. And I hope you always all tune in for this. And again, if you didn't catch that, it's Stringer Bell 80 and Cash App $STRINGERBELL 80. I want to end it off with this, man. Even to this day when I go into New York, and I just live right outside New York. When I go into New York, I just still see nothing but a preponderance of men of color sleeping on the subway. And, I mean, like you go there on the subway, it'll be somebody there, and they got their whole bag on and blanket and everything. They just pass out because they're that tired. So they just pass out and go to sleep. And let me tell you, I've been that guy before. With like 2-3 nights in a row. I slept on a motherfucking train. Q train. And that was before I went to the homeless shelter because I had so much pride. You know what I mean? And there was this lady, she helped me. I'll never forget her. Nicest lady ever. I know she was just doing her job. It might not mean much to her. But I want to tell her thank you. It was a black woman. Black women always, for some reason or another, the right ones. Not them bad ones, but the right, nice ones, the good ones. The girl next door, the one that daddy raised, uncle raised, had some deal with. Mama was raised by a good family. You know what I mean? Those women. You know what I'm saying? Whether daddy was a pistol carrier or he was in the motherfucking United States military. You know what I'm saying? And those women always, I don't know, those type of women, whether they be black, white, whatever, they always come because, it's like, nah, some chicks just understand my story. You know what I mean? Like, for real. I had some chicks break down my whole story to me. They'd be like, yo, listen, and this, that, and the third, whatever, boom, boom, wop, wop, wop. I'll be like, oh, word, you got a point. I had some sisters break down some shit. Yo, what you need to do is, I had a sister tell me, yo, why don't you, this recently, she's like, why don't you put together that fucking clothing label shit you had before? And I said, yeah. And I was like, yo, look, I still got the files and all that shit because I had saved all the files. The files are in a certain thing they call PDIs. And so the files or whatever the design is, I can upload them to anything and get them printed. You know what I mean? Digitally, through a service, or personally. I saved the files in my own design. It's my last Lucy, so I'm like, fuck it. So I'm sitting there and it's my nerves. I suffer from anxiety. It's like, I don't know. Even sitting here for a long time, it's like my anxiety's kicking in, but at the same time, I have to do this because I have to survive. Like, that's the fucking, everybody talks all this shit about the system and all that shit or whatever, but one of the worst parts about the system is when you get indoctrinated into this white system and that, like I am now, which I've never been in my life, but if you are as I am now, it's hard to shake it. These people are going to come visit me. They're going to inspect the place randomly, come see people staying there. I'm assuming, they keep reiterating that nobody else can live with you unless you put them on the lease. I can bring somebody on the lease or whatever. I saw somebody write something. What's going on, Marcus Green? Hey. Nothing, man. Trying to talk about, I was talking about Tasha K. I'm going to get back into that. I was talking about Monique for a little bit. And then I'm just talking about myself. As I started talking about myself, everybody logged off. It happens. I don't expect nobody to care about me. I really don't. And I think when I pander this message and try to do any more future donation drops, I really think that I'm going to more direct them to maybe perhaps a different crowd. And don't think this automatically that crowd necessarily is white. I just think that I might have more success with them as far as understanding my story. The current wavelength and vibration that the culture is in right now, it doesn't allow that. And if you need an example of that, even the stars that you held up to higher regard, you would try to damage them. I just talked about Tasha K. That's what her branding does. So very few people actually, I know for a fact, as I'm learning as I'm getting older, actually care about you. You know what I mean? I have nobody. Like literally, just be by myself. You know what I'm saying? Be by myself and Betty on the side. In case you want to go out of line. So I'm rebuilding my whole life or whatever. And I need people's help to do that. But if the people don't reach out to me and hear me, then you have to move otherwise and reach out to other people. And what I found is, I hate to say it like this, so far my experience, even though it's been bad, I was sleeping in a hotel room that the homeless services provided here in Stanford, and it was full of rats, like real rats. One of the rats evidently had a whole bunch of babies within the wintertime, and then as soon as it started getting a little warm, they came out the wall. They had nests in it. And so the rat babies were big now, they were running around looking for food evidently. And so with my donation money even back then, which was a couple months ago, people ask me, well, how can you got, let me tell y'all something, being homeless is expensive. That shit is expensive as fuck. Like, it's depending on what homeless shelter you at to and what's the situation. Like, this is something perfect I could take off about. So don't worry, I'm going like for a while tonight. You know what I'm saying? Like I really need to garner some type of donation series, something to keep myself going because I'm really upset that, and I hate to say it like this, I had to pay rent twice and then I had to get food and then it's like and I know this is a realization of a lot of people, but it's different for me. But being in this situation is at the time, very expensive. It's so expensive that you wouldn't believe it sometimes. So like, here in the Northeast, you could probably pay on the general, you'd probably pay like $10 to $12 to eat per day. Then if you take that and subtract that, you're talking about travel. So, the subway's $2.75 each way. If I want to go to NY from here, it's $6 each way. It's very expensive to be homeless. It really is. And so you end up spending on an average, I'm going to say probably like $40, $50, if not more a day. Then if it's wintertime, those are the hardest because, you map shit out. Like, I used to have a routine like this. I used to leave the church. They had us at the church. I used to stay, like, right across the street, damn near from fucking Trump Tower. That's why I knew it so well. I used to stay on Fifth Avenue. And so, at the bedding site that we were at, I want to say this right. I'll say it this way. In the whole city of New York, all those churches that we went to, and they sent us to different ones, so as I met us, that means a good place you can sleep at. All those places that they sent us at, now one of them was black ran churches. Now one of them was African American, anything, or Latino. They didn't decide, I guess, to involve themselves in the program, which is tax exemption, inclusive to whatever you have already. So there's certain deductibles and things like that you can write off. And, as long as you have it itemized, you know what I mean? It can work out for you at the end of the year. Now, none of these churches of color were participating. The churches we were going to were like Episcopalian, we went to a Quaker church, Jewish synagogue, and we went to, of course, this other church or whatever, which was, I think they were Pentecostal as well, which the Reverend was from right here in Connecticut, which is not odd at all. I mean, this is the New York tri-state, so it was like Connecticut, New Jersey, New York, you know what I mean? So, with all that being said, Let me take my time with this. With all that being said, the likelihood in a week that you'll spend at least, I don't know, just like the average person, $200, $300 in a day is very, 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 very likely. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just ripping and running. I used to plan out a thing where I would go to McDonald's and sit there for like 4 or 5 hours, and I'd be on my phone. So I would watch like programs and shit like that. I would keep myself busy, or I would be, looking for this, looking for that, whatever, whatever. You know, I kept myself real busy or whatever, but you would still have to keep going downstairs. Let me get a coffee. Let me get a sandwich. That's how I would do anyway. Because my thing was, okay, as long as I'm buying something and I'm being quiet and I'm not bothering the customers, them niggas used to know I was coming in there in the morning. They would never bother me. They would never bother me. Never bother me. Never looked at me funny or nothing else. And there was a white Latino manager. Never got mad at me one day in his life. Never bothered me. You know? I saw him trip on other people. I fell asleep in there one time. He didn't trip on me. I fell asleep right in the corner. Boom. But other people, they fell asleep in there. He would trip on them. He'd be like, hey, get up. Me, he didn't even bother me. And I apologized to him. He said, don't worry about it. Hey, K. Cole, what's going on? What up, Kareem Smith? Marcus Green, what's going on? Sean's still mad at me. Let me read some of your comments. There's a lot of comments in here. I'm talking and stuff. I ain't even looking at y'all comment like I should. That's how we are downgraded. You haven't lies are not black. Yeah, I read that. Cynthia, let's just pray for mosquitoes. Much love, my sister. I don't know what she said. Mosquitoes tearing your ass up. Yeah, they are. Let's just pray for mosquitoes to leave. Much love. Thank you. What up with that scratching, homie? No, I'm not scratching. That's exactly what they're talking about. I'm not scratching anything. It's mosquitoes. There's a light behind me, and what y'all can't see. Hold on, I'm going to show y'all. Right behind me, there's a fountain right there. See that large fountain? It goes all the way down there. And there's lights right here. So the mosquitoes, plus that light, are attracted to the light. So I'm not, hold on, let me turn this back around. So I'm not scratching, homie. I'm motherfucking, there's mosquitoes flying around me. The light is so dim that y'all can't tell it, but they're here. The only person that got it was Cynthia. But yeah, these fuckers are getting at me, but I gotta do this live, so it is what it is. I try not to let them bite me too much or whatever, or the little nets that be out here, because of pure simple fact, like nets and mosquitoes and shit, they like water. You know what I'm saying? So there's running water. That water, it actually flows over into a filter and then comes back up, so it gives the illusion that it's an ongoing pool of water. You know what I mean? So it's very beautiful actually. I'll show it to you guys in the daytime. You might be able to see it tonight too. I might be able to show you out tonight, because you just probably see the silhouette of it. You can't see the details. But yeah, it's very expensive to live in the Northeast, man. Anybody from the tri-state area, they'll tell you so. Cash App $STRINGERBELL80. I've been through it all, and I didn't know it until I just recently started talking to, like, I have this preliminary psychologist woman or whatever that I've been talking to, whatever. I'm really fucked up. You know what I mean? I didn't know it, but I mean, fuck it. Like, most people, they won't say it like I say it. I want to get better. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want my first reserve to be like, all right, I want to kill this motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? Every time. Like, I'm getting to a point where that could end up being life in prison or some shit. You know what I'm saying? So I've got to learn how to control my temperament, which I'm very good at controlling my composure, but I've got to, hey, K. Cole, what's going on? I've got to learn how to deal with some other things. I am very snappish. Like, I don't take nothing for nothing. I had a dude walk up on me tonight or whatever, say something funny. I said, yo, if you don't get the fuck away from him, I'll knock your ass out. Like, that's just, and I was on the phone with my OG, so it felt kind of uncomfortable, and I hadn't even realized I had said it, but that's all from this living in the X, living in NY. That's just is what it is, you know? And as I'm down to 4 listeners, because I ain't talking about the nonsense no more, like I told you, I don't be worried about too much because I know nobody cares about me. Shit, I had a record company show me that shit. I don't know. I don't care about that. Some nigga wrote in the comment section I was scratching. The guy just had my arms crossed like that, and I was rubbing my arm. He was talking about scratching. What you trying to say? I got track marks or something, nigga? I got no track marks, nigga. There's my arm right there. You know what I'm saying? What you trying to say? Niggas be whack. Like, I don't know. Anybody say some shit about me, my scratching, nigga, I'm around the fucking light and water. Fucking mosquitoes and shit go near water. And there's a separate pond on the other side. Hold on, I'm about to show y'all. Let me finish what I'm gonna say. Let me show y'all. You know what I'm saying? For real, these motherfucking mosquitoes tear me up. Why am I crossing my arms? Why? Because I'm trying not to get bit the fuck up and catch fucking Lyme disease or some shit. Now that's what ticks give you. Did y'all know Lyme disease comes from here in Connecticut? It comes from Old Lyme, Connecticut. Lyme, Connecticut. Right up the block. I know it very well. I used to live near it. Whoa. But yeah, homie, you know, shit is the way it is, man, because it is, you know? No day I can do is try to change it. So like I said, I just give my observation about Monique, about Tasha K and Choke No Joke, and this one to stand out and show the dignity of Chuck No Joke. And now he's a stand-up man. I wanted to talk about one other thing too, and that's the violence here in America. There's been a surge in the past couple of weeks, if not months, of violence. Let me lower this down a little bit. I had to come down a little bit because I'm so elevated up there, it was just hurting my legs. There's been a surgence of violence in America, a lot of violence. And that violence has been perpetuated by really, you can't even say a demographic, so I'm going to more say it's out of sure, what many people would say, desperation because of COVID-19 and how it's hit people now. I know many of y'all don't know, and like I always mention, I'm 30 minutes outside New York City, and I'm literally 30 minutes outside New York, you know? It's less than that for driving fast. So I live right between the border of New York City and Connecticut. Thank God. Oh, you don't know how much I hightailed back to this motherfucker. I said, let me back in. Let me back in. Please let me back in. I can't take that shit down. Them motherfuckers is crazy. In the Bronx. Yes, I can't. I'm joking, but I came back onto the town, you know. And I didn't want to. That wasn't the trajectory, everything that was going on. When COVID hit New York City, I was in New York City. I'm talking about when they were first, it was just mentions of the shit. I want to put that in emphasis. I was in the Bronx, okay? I was by Fordham. I was in the Bronx. Shout out to everybody that ride the BX12 daily. You know what I'm saying? Bronx Zoo, Botanical Gardens, Fordham, Pelham, my stop. You know what I'm saying? Let me tell y'all something. I don't care how many times, excuse me. I don't care how many times I'll say it. But all that duration during quarantine did a job on a lot of people, including myself. Did a job on a lot of people, had a lot of people, you know what I'm saying? Had a lot of people just mentally fucked up because this is the first time they ever been in solitude in their whole entire life. You know? For many of them. When they started letting these fruits out, I already hear you, man. I'm telling you, shit is rough. Okay, Cole, you know, really, all I'm pointing to is, you know, when I say things like that, the people I'm really pointing to is the people that do got it. you know. And I hear so many motherfuckers say, well, I ain't talking about you either. But I hear so many people say, oh, I ain't got it. Everybody ain't got it like that. But it be the people that do got it like that be on Kevin Samuel's page, to be on my other man's page, or whatever, and I'm watching them. And then they be on Superstars page. I saw motherfuckers donating to Naomi Campbell. I saw motherfuckers donate, black people donating to Superstars. So when I get on the mic and I'm giving you like no faux, no chuck, no bullshit information, I'm telling you exactly how the fuck it is. I've had people write in my comment section and tell me, yo, I like the advice you give. I like what you be saying. I'm finding it's true or whatever, whatever. I had my homegirl Stella Moon put up today. She said, you should be compensated by that. But no one, for some reason or another, seems to agree with that unilaterally. Yo, we need to, get with this person. That's why I say, I might have to change my trajectory a little bit as far as my audience or something like that. I don't know. And it's definitely people from the audience I have currently right now that I want to keep. But I'm talking about in the broader prospect of my audience. I want to start implementing that. Maybe people that are a little bit more lucrative. Maybe people that can help. That if not of color, because it's like a million and one crime. What you gonna do? What you gonna do after that? And then they kind of like want you to kiss their ass after they do something for you. So it's like I don't know. I just don't. I don't hear to that. I've had white people that done things for me numerous times now, and they don't want me to kiss their ass, and I'm not siding with them either. I'm just stating the point. You know what I'm saying? I'm not in this apartment space I'm in right now because of black people. I'm in the apartment space I'm in right now because of white folks. Make no mistake about it. You know what I'm saying? I'm not in the program I am with a voucher because of black folks. That was white folks that did that for me, and an Indian kid. Is what it is. And I've been talking about that for months. The niggas that watched me and saw me document everything I went through. When I was at the last homeless shelter before I got here, there was a triple shooting that happened right across the street from where we lived at. And in that triple shooting, there was 3 men killed because out of their desperation, they thought it was a good idea to run up in this man's house. You know what I'm saying? I'm in Connecticut. They wanted to run up in this man's house and rob him of his little business he had. This made Fox News, everything. I tell you no lies. And subsequently, OG said, "Now fuck all that. Hold that. You know what I mean? Hold that. Boop, 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 boop. Take one for your friend too. Boop. You know what I mean?" And he killed one of them, and the other 2 sustained injuries. This motherfucker jumped on the top of the car, started shooting on the top of the car. I know, I'm gonna get some of that shit too when I can afford it. These motherfuckers tearing me up. I'm glad y'all understand me now. I was trying to hide it on the camera, not be like, but I was like, now I'm like, fuck it, all right, well everybody know now, shit, But yeah, that's why I was doing that, because fucking mosquitoes I'm right behind the water, so like that is like their spot. Water, light, perfect shit for them, So they out here. That's one thing. I've filmed rabbits, beavers. We have a beaver in the neighborhood that runs around. A lot of wildlife. This is like the most. Hold on, I'm gonna turn the camera around. My city is like the most suburban, urban, fucking place you can get. You know what I'm saying? It really is. It's a beautiful city. Very beautiful city. Quaint, good people. For the most part. We got assholes too, but for the most part, good people. I just don't like drunks. You know what I'm saying? I think I turn around like that for a minute so I can get a little view instead of looking at my ugly mug. But yeah, man. The violence that has occurred was out of desperation. And a lot of people need money. Some of them people don't deserve for you to give them any money. The money that people are giving them any damn way. Some of y'all are like giving to people that are like the most undeserving. Let me turn this around so I look sincere. Like, because I really mean this shit from the bottom of my fucking heart. So I don't want to like have the camera off of me at all. Some of the people y'all donating to are going to buy $400 and $500 suits and shit with your donation money. How the fuck is that helping the culture? You know? And I'm not telling anybody what to do with their money or whatever. I'm just purely pointing it out and telling you, you know? So, if it is not me, help some other people, you know? I'll leave my link in the description box or whatever. I do all that shit all the time. But past couple of videos I left it off because I didn't want anybody to be like, oh, he begging, I'm not begging you for shit, you know? I'm asking. Every other blogger asks for donations. And I don't even ask that often. I think I can count as many times as I mentioned it on this one. And I labeled this one my donation drive. How about that? It's Cash App $STRINGERBELL80. That's Stringer Bell 80. Where all the ballers at? All the niggas that talk about all this uplifting shit or whatever. If you're just tuning in, nobody's on here, like, you know what I mean, doing anything with giving my story. Some people will be embarrassed by my story. Already. Some people will be embarrassed by my story if they had to tell it. You know what I mean? I'm not. I know where this story is going to lead. And I'm just hoping it's not some white publication that picks it up or whatever. And I'm like, well, damn, the whole time I was trying to give it to the brothers. Funny how that works, right? Black people and Latin people have a sensibility in broader aspect of the culture, not individually, but in a broader aspect of the culture, of a lot of times coming around after the product has been put together. So now that's on the assembly line and it's being, you know, spread across this beautiful nation of ours. Now we'll come around, you know. Hey, Annette, what's going on, woman? Yeah, you late with me, but I was talking about Tasha K, you know, what my synopsis was of the whole thing. I think she was bullshit for everything that she said within it. I think she was hypocritical of the things she said within it. You know, you said, you know, that this guy was basically clout chasing a story. But it was his man that actually broke the story. And I'll say her name now, Jessica. It was his man, and I was there doing that podcast with Star first broke it, live in the chat room. And it was about Jessica or whatever, and he brought it up because it hadn't been brought up in years. And I made sure to address the fact that everybody had been talking about this before. This was no secret. You see what I'm saying? Got you. This was no secret. So, you know, I want you to check out what I said naturally and, you know, and you know, divulge on that. Other than that, you know what I mean? I'm just on here. I'm telling people right now what the reality is of being homeless and how it affects you mentally and things like that. And I hope that some people want to listen to it. Some people don't think I'm just babbling or whatever. But it's just a real kind of experience of it. And the reason I want to talk about that and put that out there is because of pure simple fact. And I think as I'm nearing out of this shit, that it needs to be addressed. And I'm someone that can articulate it, I think, pretty damn good. So, you know, maybe people will pay a little bit more attention to me on a broader aspect of things. When you got people out of quarantine, as I was talking about, the violence that soon stirred that y'all see now from state to state now, especially out in Chicago, New York, you know what I mean, LA. It's crazy. Crazy. And Atlanta. It's crazy right now. You know? And Florida. Crazy. These places right now are places that are on fire. They're literally on fire daily. Especially in NY, daily, crazy right now. They're equating the crime to the 80s. You know? That's how bad it is. And as a result, man, you know, as a result, what has happened now is that many people have lost their fucking mind. You know, there's still been mass shootings, even though we're in a pandemic, there's still been mass shootings. Ned said it affects you emotionally, physically, and spiritually. I know all, and I really do believe that. It is affecting my way that I talk to women. Y'all please hit those like buttons as y'all come in, please. It is affected the way that I talk to women, definitely. If you coop together my experience from, getting assaulted from my ex who I loved very much, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. If you cope that together with that, and then were pursued after that, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. It's hey Patrice, I was talking about you earlier too. Both of y'all was. Swear to God, y'all hear it in the broadcast. It does affect you. Um, Me personally, I felt a lot. I felt really alienated, even though, like, see, for example, a lot of people they'll be homeless and shit like that, and they'll look like the worst they can. Hey, Coco, um, they'll look the worst they can, smell horrible, whatever. Now I have facilities that go to do this. There was a drop-in center that you could go to and take a shower. You used to have a whole bag like with everything. I had a little mini towel in it, everything like that, and be prepared to go take a shower. Cause I'd be like, yo, even if I'm out all day, whatever, you know what I'm saying? I got clothes in my storage room. I got little vittles hidden up there. Like if I was ever get hungry, I go to my storage room. I got like little vittles I just got on stage right there. You know what I mean? I always keep a little stash up because the room is temperature controlled, but at the same time, it's cool. And I think that's what ate into all that mold and shit that got in there. I had to clean that shit off the fucking wall thing. It started growing on. It was wow. Anyway, psychologically, it drains you. You feel alienated. You feel alone. I still feel alone. I used to be like a very people person. Now I'm not like that. Not as much. You know, not as much. Yeah, yeah. I'm trying to see what y'all talking about. It's horrific. Death by 1,000 cuts. I don't know what y'all talking about right now. Y'all kind of just went into something. I don't know what y'all talking about, but it definitely burns. It definitely drains you, and I'm drained as fuck. I don't even still sleep right. None of those guys in that apartment need any harm. I don't think. I just don't sleep right. I just don't. I lay up most of the time to 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. When I'm looking at the phone, I'm thinking, hey, what's direction I can go into or something. I'm always figuring out something. Not even tired. I'm tired right now. As you can tell on my face. I'll try to sleep more tomorrow, but it happens, it happens. It doesn't, it doesn't. And I'm tired of drinking. What's another thing that homelessness does? Psychologically, it alienates. Like, one of the things I found was I didn't even talk to girls that much. And I think that's why I've got used to it because where you going to take them? And if you tell a woman, hey, well, I'm having a rough time, I'm just that and other. They'll fuck with you for a few minutes, but after that, they leave you the fuck alone. They won't fuck with you no more. I had it happen to me 5 times over. Okay, definitely. Yeah, definitely. Y'all hit those like buttons if you can. She said she could tell it in my face I was tired. I am tired. My soul tired. It's different. I have not, like I told you, I went, I watched the beginning of the pandemic and left after the 6 month, 5th month, 6 months of it starting at its peak. New York City got hit the hardest. And from then until now, I have never had a break. I have never had a break. Somebody mentioned to me in the comments, and they said, you need to go on a vacation somewhere. I would hope that everybody would fund you so you could do that. I said, I know, I wish, Yeah, it is. I'm definitely alone. I'm definitely alone. And it's funny because I spent my whole life thinking I had a whole bunch of friends. I had no friends. I had people around me because of what I was part of, or people around me because I worked with them, you know. So except for two or three of them people that I still have a relationship with, it's very hard, reevaluating that and being like, yo, I've done this, I've done that, I've been here, I've been there, and now you sitting at Bryant Park, waiting, hoping that 5 o'clock here ever come in the freezing cold, with your phone plugged up to one of the outside outlets is meant for them to plug up the lawnmowers and shit like that. I mean the hedge clippers and shit. You know. I've slept on a train before, 2, 3 times. It's a fact. It requires me. I took some pictures of me in doing it, just so I could always reminisce about it. Because I'm going to tell my kids that one day and be like, you know what your daddy went through, motherfuckers? You got me. You got me. I got you as much as I can be there. I already know that and that. Now, you ain't never got proved nothing with me, shit. She ain't never got proved nothing. Never, motherfucking girl, regardless. I should be more persistent. And now I just sometimes, I know whatever I'm going to have to say is going to be sad. You know what I mean? Like, that's just, the vibe that I'm in right now. And it's not necessarily because of the money. It's just like the worries and shit like that. It's like now I got a voucher and like, you know, I don't know. It's just like, it's more fucking of a headache to have that than not to have it. Because now it's like, you can't find anybody who wants to rent to you. And a lot of the guys are having that problem. How do you ask somebody that you know is coming from homeless services to pay $125 non-refundable application fee for fucking, what's the name? Because you use some agency and that's what they pay. Probably your son runs it or nephew runs it. You're probably trying to get them paid. Because that's the only reason you would eject when my counselor has told you, well, listen, you can just write in an extra $10, $25 a month because based on where he's capped at and eligible for, which is $1,700 and almost $1,800, it's $1,788. So I'm almost granted for almost $1,800 per month. You know what I mean? Which I'm trying to find some nice shit. This was just some raggedy ass section of town. You know what I mean? Yeah, it sucks, but getting out of it is the harder part. Like surviving it is easy. I can tell y'all that because you just develop a routine. Like I developed a routine to work for me where I was homeless, but you would never know I was homeless. Like you would never know it unless I told you. Truth. Yeah, I'm very sad. I don't make no qualms about my shit. I suffer from PTSD. I suffer from anxiety. Who knows what else? And one good thing is I started talking to a psychiatrist, that I found. And they told me, like, you are extremely resilient. As she put it, she said, I could not imagine going through what you went through and still stay sane. I said, yeah, it's hard. It's hard. It's fucking hard. I've not had a real hug for a woman since I was with my ex. And what I mean a real hug, I mean like my ex used to hug me in a way that was so perfect for me that she just left the whole room with her. Very beautiful sister. Very beautiful sister. Motherfuckers be on here don't think I ain't had long relationships. Do you know? I'll give y'all a little secret. I had a daughter before she died. I had a daughter by a very dark-skinned but beautiful ass Haitian woman. Very beautiful Haitian woman. And my daughter came up with that same chocolate ass skin. That's why I said I look like a fool making fun of some dog when I had damn near a dark baby. I had a dark baby. That's what it be sometimes, That's what it be sometimes. Yeah, I know a lot of y'all are, but a lot of y'all at the same time, y'all suffered that depression and everything in a home. I didn't. I was running the street, running away from it, especially, all the situations I had with In the other town in Connecticut I was at, it was like World War III for me out there. I was ready to blow motherfuckers' brains out there. Like, shit was crazy. Like, nigga, let me fuck alone, you know? I don't know. I'm so fucking tired right now. And guys, to no avail do I sit here and give testament to drain any type of empathy out of you. I'm just telling you the real deal about it. And I'm going to tell it in more duration here soon in my own little format I happen to offer. Because I think it's a story that needs to be told, not only for myself. And I just hate, I want to say this and put this out there. I hate, yeah, I know, I got to. I'm just, it's hard for me to sleep. Really hard. I think y'all right, though. Let me get up on off of here. What do you say? Word. Yeah, we did. We survived the pandemic. But what are the ramifications from surviving it? You know, that's the thing. And we're lifelong where everybody live with now that we, quote, survived the pandemic. You know, it's another question to ask. And when I ask that question, like, it's so broad that nobody has an answer for it. You know what I mean? Like, nobody literally has an answer for that. Because we don't have the research to actually conclude anything. That's why. Yeah, I know. So-called friends. Yeah, it's a lot to think about. But I know this business, and I will get back into it one way or another without helping people or with helping people. I probably will take me a little break off YouTube because I'm gonna have to set up some other means for myself that I was preferring not to, but you force it to the situation, So, it is what it is. The fact that I can't starve for nobody. So guys, I'm gonna hop off of here because I'm like, I don't know, everybody's even telling me I'm looking tired. It was great to rock with y'all for such long. Even though nobody donated to me, I don't give a shit. I know why you were here, for the gossip. Tasha K, be careful. You got to be careful. And whether you donated 5 cents or nothing, I want you all guys to know that I appreciate every last one of y'all for showing up and hearing what I have to say. But I probably won't be doing this much more long. I'm gonna give this maybe like a month or so, see how things go, and I'm probably gonna hop off here at least for a while anyway. I need to take a break from this. I feel like, just like what Sailor Moon said, I give out way too much information for free about what I know from the music industry or whatever, to not be compensated when people have far worse material and get, in some cases per show, $2,000, $3,000, and people always have their own demographics to break it down. I'm not hating on anybody. I hope everybody gets this. I really do, but I just don't understand how is clout chasing has now been affected by now affecting donations. You know, you only donate when somebody's got some fucking gossip or something. That's crazy. Something to think about. Something to think about. So anyway, guys, I want to tell everybody that showed up tonight, because I'm just going to keep it still gentleman-like. I want to thank everybody that showed up here tonight. Thank you very much. Whether you did or did not donate, that's cool too. The shit is in the description box. And it's $ Cash App, $STRINGERBELL80. Again, that's $STRINGERBELL80, Stringer Bell 80. And y'all can hit that up right there. I'm about to pass out right now. I really am. Yeah, it's not. It's I hope I find an apartment, but it's like even when I get into the apartment, which they're gonna find me one anyway. I'm pretty sure, but white man ain't gonna just leave me for dead. You know what I'm saying? Evidently, my, my my people will, and I'm still getting used to that because, as a man of color, you feel alone. You ask a lot of men of color that are gonna tell you that they feel alone. I feel like sometimes if I was to really get into some shit, it could be several white men beating the shit out of me, and I think a couple black people would walk right past it like nothing happened. I really believe that because this shit I've seen before. So I think I'm justified in feeling that paranoia. Motherfuckers would rather film you getting your ass whooped instead of helping. That's what it is. So yeah, that's why I said, yeah, maybe it's, I did this before. I think it's maybe just a time. Take a break from YouTube and maybe come back and maybe pull a Jaguar. Might pull me a Jaguar. I just can't. The information I have is very, very, very much worth money. And to be given it away for free, and I'm just giving away a portion to see what the water was like. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy. Yeah, it's not pressure, but pressure can also cave you in too. Like I hear all that strong man shit, strong black people shit. You know what I mean? But you're still a fucking human. You're a mammal. You know what I'm saying? We're not superhumans or metahumans or some shit like that. We all have emotions. We all have, psychological triggers and shit like that. I have triggers. I don't like people close to me, which I never used to be like that. I don't like people that talk too fucking much. That annoys me. And when I say talking too much, I don't mean talking too much. I mean people that are like this talking is to be like, and they always have this annoying like, oh my god, accent and shit. It's like, oh fuck this fucking annoying. Like I hear little girls that live in projects, and like we were like what the fuck is wrong with that kid? Like I don't know. This comes out really, really childish, unauthentic, and careless. You know what I mean? I don't know. Something is sad. I've been now, I'm going to rock this out for another 10 minutes. I've been now through 3 different housing facilities. And I can tell you straight up in this long ass journey, it has drained me the fuck out. Drained my pockets out. Anytime I got a little bit of money, I got to spend it food. I got to go here to get this. I got to go here, I got to go here. Never wasting on anything. If that's the case, I have a brand new fucking wardrobe right now. Yeah, Kevin Samuels, nigga. You know what I mean? Shit. Yeah. I salute to Kevin Samuels. I'm glad he popped. I'm glad everything happened for him. He's a big dude. I threw him in earlier because I was just like, nigga, stop talking to people. Stop going over here trying to talk to every fucking body. You got a thing going on right now. Keep that shit down. Quit thinking that these people, their views are going to help you. They're not. And save your fucking money. So I'm buying $300, $400 fucking suits. That's some country shit. Alright? Trust me on that. Alright, guys. I want to tell all of you guys, thanks for showing up. I probably didn't raise a fucking dime for myself. I really don't give a shit. I kind of expected it coming in. I was like, I'm just a regular guy now, just on my regular shit. These people don't give a fuck about what I'm saying and think it's any monetary value over it. But I know better. I know that it is. And I know that I have that. And I'm not able to let anything sway that. I need some help. I don't find any shame in that. It's my own people for help. If there is some shame in that, then maybe I need to join some other culture and be part of that culture. You know what I'm saying? Start my whole brand of Conan. Cone. You know? I don't know. All right, I'm going to give me some sleep. I'll try to. I doubt it, but I'm going to try to give me some sleep. And I got some fruit that I want to eat. Dehydrated fruit. Really, really bad. I want to dehydrated bananas and fucking whistles right now. So I'm gonna get off of here. Good night, everybody. Thank you for rocking out with me. Links in the description. I also have one in the pinned comment. If you'd like to help me on, feel free. If not, that's cool too. I don't hold any grudges against anybody. I'm not gonna cut you out. You didn't donate, motherfucker. But I would hope that you feel some of the information and things I talk about or whatever are worth some type of monetary compensation, because I know better than any that they are. So. Guys, it's Cash App $STRINGERBELL 80. Again, that's Cash App $STRINGERBELL 80. That spells out Stringer Bell 80. Cash App Stringer Bell 80. All right, guys, I'm out of here. Good night, y'all.